Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
It's a great day to be alive on this Tuesday. Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. My name is Ben Brust, alongside our Packer backer Kyle Wallace and our Super Bowl 50 runner-up Brad Nortman. Alex Strofe is running the show, and as always, you, KBN Nation, at 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. Less is more. See our beautiful faces on YouTube, at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. Good day, everybody.
Good day there, Benjamin Brust.
Hey, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
Anyone got any quick thoughts after 24 hours being removed of Aaron Banks and Nate Hobbs?
Yeah. I mean, it was good.
There it is.
Nice.
Sound like Brad. It was good.
Yeah.
Brad was right. It was good. It was nice.
It was good. The Packers are good. Everyone's good. And they got two good guys. And they continue to be good.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Good is
I think for me, I know you don't win in the offseason, right? We all know that. And the running joke of the Bears is, oh, they won the offseason again, but they stink in the fall. The problem is there are other really good teams out there, like the Vikings and like the Commanders and teams all over the place that are already good to great, and they've significantly improved. I'm more concerned about the teams that are already very good, and they're getting great, more than I am concerned about the bad teams trying to reach a level of good.
Yeah, I'm one who doesn't like to keep up with the Joneses, but in the NFL, I think it's important to keep up with the Joneses, because if you don't, then you're not getting closer to a championship. And guess what? The Joneses are our neighbors to the east and to the west as well, with the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions, and east and west. Yes.
Is Minnesota to the east
Joneses.
or I guess they're not the north.
Minnesota's to the west.
I mean, it's to the northwest, and Chicago's south.
No, I did not say anything.
More north?
I didn't say. I'm not talking about Chicago.
More west.
More west. Okay.
And to the east. You guys get what I'm saying. If you say I'm going west, you got to go. Depending on where you go, you got to go. If you go straight west from Milwaukee, don't you end up in Minnesota?
Well, from Milwaukee, yeah.
Directly,
but I imagine we were all thinking from Green Bay, because that's where the Packers are.
Yes, that's what I was.
Nice.
Deep thoughts.
Nice.
So
we got two into ourselves in location here.
I still think if you go straight west, you're ending up in like Winona.
No,
not
you go
quite
straight
Minneapolis.
West, you're in
Minnesota,
Iowa.
Jeez Louise.
Straight west from Milwaukee.
We're talking about Green Bay now. Keep up with the
Stop thinking
Joneses.
about yourself, Mr. Waukesha County.
262.
It's the 262 hour at 2.
Oh,
Are we just in Milwaukee?
It's also the 608 hour at 2.
Yeah, all right.
And
We're
920
across
hours,
ESPN
too.
Wisconsin right now with you, KBN Nation, Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. I don't know how we landed on this, other than the fact that, I think that I'm losing faith in free will.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This whole
Hey, that's deep. Wow. This is going to be a football show.
It is. Sports show, Kyle.
Sports. We're a lot of Packers. And nonsense.
The fact that there's an opening to the team to the west that we said for the Minnesota Vikings, who have continued to add pieces to their offensive and defensive lines. Their quarterback position, Sam Darnold, their quarterback last year's with Seattle Seahawks now. J.J. McCarthy, they drafted, is coming off an ACL injury. There's a guy named Aaron Rodgers that if he ends up in Minnesota, I will not believe in free will. It just, far from, come on. There's too many weird things here.
Well, and
he could go to the Steelers. There's three options for Rodgers, but if he ends up in Minnesota, don't you just think this is getting a little weird?
It certainly would. And to tell you the truth, there's more weird going on than you even know, Ben Brust.
I didn't even think you were a conspiracy theorist.
I got a couple of things up my sleeve when it comes to conspiracies.
Conspiracy at 205,
X-Files music. Let
me tell you guys a little thing about Kennedy and Lincoln. We're talking about
The presidents?
The presidents, okay? I'm going to tell you how Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre are the new Kennedy and Lincoln.
What do you mean the new Kennedy and Lincoln? I don't.
Now they're safe. Now they're safe.
I'm gonna say now.
Like that.
Wait a minute.
I'm just saying.
I've seen the video of Kennedy. I don't want that to happen to my quarterbacks.
Bizarre similarities between Kennedy and Lincoln. You tell me you haven't heard these before?
I mean, I know both didn't end well in their lives.
Okay, let me dive into it, and then I'll tell you why.
Good.
I'll tell you why. Not only are Favre and Rodgers the next Kennedy and Lincoln for similarity purposes, that's all, but also why Aaron Rodgers will then end in Minnesota. Now, listen to this. Wrap your mind around this. I'll tell you about Kennedy and Lincoln right now. Both presidents shot in the back of the head on a Friday. Hold on.
Wow.
On a Friday before a major holiday while seated next to their wives, neither of whom were injured. Both were in the presence of another couple. In each case, the man was also wounded by the assassin.
Dang.
Each president was in his 30s and married a socially prominent 24-year-old girl who spoke French fluently.
Wait a minute. Kennedy was only in his 30s when he got killed?
No. When they were married. When they were married. In the White House, each president had a family of 3 children and both lost one child in death.
Dang.
Both Lincoln and Kennedy were second children. Both were boat captains. Both were related to a U.S. senator, attorney general, ambassador to Great Britain, and the mayor of Boston at the time.
Do we need to fact check this?
Each were elected to Congress in 47, so 1847 and 1947. And each were vice presidential runner-ups in the year of 56. Each president was elected in year 60. Each, before each was elected, they both had a sister die. President Kennedy's secretary's last name was Lincoln. President Lincoln's secretary last name was Kennedy.
That's where I lost it. What?
No, it gets even weirder.
Keep going. Both Lincoln and Kennedy contain 7 letters in their names, their last names, that is. Both were succeeded by vice presidents with the last name of Johnson. Andrew Johnson, born in 1808. Lyndon Johnson, born in 1908. Both of whom have 13 letters and 2 daughters. Both assassins of Lincoln and Kennedy had 15 letters in their names.
Oh, my God.
I can feel my body leaving myself right now.
Booth, the guy who shot Lincoln, shot him in a theater and fled to a warehouse. Oswald, who shot Kennedy, shot him from a warehouse and fled to a theater.
Come on!
And finally, both assassins were killed by shooters using a Colt revolver with one shot that was fatal.
And the shooters all had 3 names: John Wilkes Booth and Lee Harvey Oswald.
That's right. That was even on the list.
This is crazy.
Okay.
A lot of similarities.
So
How come they didn't teach us this in school?
They did.
Yeah, they did. But, so what does this have to do with Aaron Rodgers?
So as you
and Brett Favre
on the show, and as you guys gather yourself.
So Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Brad just went through the similarities of Lincoln Kennedy that I did not know of, obviously.
History class today.
So
Favre Rodgers.
What's
going on
Favre
here?
Rodgers isn't quite as crazy, but it is crazy. Now let's start with it. Favre and Rodgers both began their career on the bench. Both won a Super Bowl at age 27 in their 6th season in the NFL. Both were the main starter of the Green Bay Packers for 15 seasons. Both were traded to the Jets, subsequently released, and now we're going to see, and we will see, that Aaron Rodgers will sign in free agency with Minnesota. Now, here's where it gets weird.
I like weird.
Brett Favre's final 6 passes as a Packer. He was 2 for 6 for 12 yards, concluding in a game-sealing, season-ending interception at Lambeau Field. Aaron Rodgers' final 6 passes. 2 for 6, 12 yards in a game-ending, season-ending interception at Lambeau Field. And if that wasn't enough, they both had the 2 for 6, 12 yards in a game-sealing interception at Lambeau Field. If that wasn't enough, the wind blowing at Lambeau Field when Favre was quarterback was 12 miles per hour. Aaron Rodgers' final game, wind blowing at Lambeau Field, was 4 miles per hour.
No!
My God!
Yes.
The twist and the
So
turn.
now, it is only right, it is only fate, it is only appropriate that Aaron Rodgers will go into free agency just like Brett Favre, and he will sign with the Minnesota Vikings, and he'll likely lead them to an NFC Championship game.
Oh, no.
Well, slow down.
I mean, if it's going to go fully to it. Can you guys not believe that? That's crazy.
No, that's a lot of crossover in 2 ways.
You
My mind is
crazy.
blown
As Kyle would
away.
say, you a lie.
I ain't no lie. I ain't a lie.
Brad, I mean this with all due respect. This is the best thing you've ever done.
Yeah.
This is your finest work. You can retire.
Thank you. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Just like that.
Wait a minute now.
You guys can take it with Tauscher 215. I'm out.
You know he's trying. He's trying to slide into your seat and get part-time Will upstairs to come to the producer's
I see how
booth.
it is.
That's the Alex Stroke way.
You gotta be scared.
Look at him smiling.
Look at him smiling.
I got to be scared when you're buttered up. That means you're about ready to get eaten.
As Ben said,
Just like
yesterday,
Lincoln and Kennedy.
Just like Lincoln
Whoa.
and Kennedy. Isn't that crazy, though? I mean, Favre and Rodgers In the similarities only are the new Lincoln and Kennedy. And it only makes sense. And you see it right before your very eyes. Rodgers is going to go to free agency. He's going to go to the Vikings.
You got to be the only person in the world to ever say the sentence, Rodgers and Favre are the new Lincoln and Kennedy.
That's why they pay me to be on these airwaves, boys.
I guess so. That is crazy. But just thinking about if Aaron Rodgers does become a Minnesota Viking, my goodness.
He's been more linked to the Steelers, right? Shefty's been the one on the Steelers.
Yes. But I would say that Minnesota is a more attractive job.
I agree.
If he could choose.
If I'm Aaron Rodgers, do you want DK Metcalf and George Pickens running routes and not running them right? Or do you want Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkinson and Aaron Jones and an offensive line, Kevin O'Connell?
Oof. Yeah. The problem is that...
Do they want him?
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers actually he fits in right there with the crazy. George Pickens is a little head case, and also
in there with the crazy.
DK Metcalf is a little bit different. Yeah, no, it's the guys in the straitjackets all together.
Is that a reference to something?
But the thing is, Tomlin had Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell and Ben Roethlisberger. He's used to crazy. He's used to crazy.
He's used
so maybe
to
he'll fit in there perfect.
Yeah.
I'm still gathering myself from the whole Lincoln Kennedy and Favre Rodgers thing.
You didn't help my free will thing.
No. If anything,
I have less faith in free will than I did before you started talking.
If Rodgers signs with the Vikings
and they go to an NFC Championship game,
the loop is closed. We can only hope that Jordan Love then gets his one Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That'd be the ultimate.
If the Vikings made it to the NFC Championship game with Rodgers and didn't win a Super Bowl, and it meant it opened up the door for Jordan Love to then
that means next year he'd win the Super Bowl.
I think we'd all take that.
That's a good point.
It'd be a bad year. Yeah. It wouldn't be fun watching Rodgers and the Vikings do well, but if it led to a Jordan Love Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers, I don't think you're hearing any complaints.
No, not at all. If I knew, the future, and I knew that Aaron Rodgers needed to go
knew the future.
No, if he had to go to an NFC Championship game and get pummeled by the opposing team's defense, or an NFC Championship game, only for Jordan Love to go on to win the Super Bowl not too far after, I'd take it.
Where did you find
Where
did you find the wind stats?
Multiple sources.
Brett Favre had a problem with doing certain things out of too much habit. Aaron Rodgers likes to do certain things too much out of habit.
That's true. That's very true.
Okay.
And I'm sure Aaron Rodgers sends DMs too.
Oh, wow. And on that note, Mark Tauscher, Packer Hall of Famer, who typically would join us at 2:30, really wants to get into the Packers action that was yesterday because nothing has happened for the team today thus far. What do we got? 2 to 5 today? Anything happening from 2 to 5? Anyone got an inkling? Anyone got the spidey sense?
I got a feeling something's coming. I don't know what that means. I just think something's coming. Could be a long snapper.
We'd be so lucky to have a long snapper.
Mark Tauscher, Packer Hall of Famer, joins us here on Kyle Brust and Nortman next.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman.
DKB, they get all my love, all my energy, and all my time. I'll be danged if GKB and Craig not going to allow me to take my half-an-hour boo-boo. If I need to do that, they need to allow me to do that.
That's your whole lunch break.
I don't even take a lunch break. I work during lunch.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Multiple sclerosis is an unpredictable, often disabling disease of the central nervous system. There is currently no cure for MS. Symptoms vary from person to person, and MS does not discriminate, as anyone can be diagnosed. An estimated 1 million people in the United States live with MS, with more than 20,000 right here in Wisconsin. The National MS Society funds cutting-edge research, drives change through advocacy, and provides programs and services to help people affected by MS live their best lives. Connect with nationalmssociety.org to learn more.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's ESPN Milwaukee's Kyle Walsh for Universal Windows Direct. The tax time sale is going on now, and they'll make your wallet even happier by paying no interest until 2030. Schedule your free in-home estimate today.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Wisconsin is still cattle country, and That's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Visit Bunzel's at 90th and Burleigh or bunzels.com.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
So many of our youth carry unimaginable burdens. Anger, depression, even thoughts of suicide. At Rawhide Youth Services, we recognize their pain. We help them find hope and healing. For those that need a second chance at life, we refuse to give up on them. Please be a part of our life-saving work. When you donate your used vehicle to Rawhide, you're helping change the lives of countless youth in our communities. Go to rawhide.org/donate and help them realize a brighter future today.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, founder of Right Choice Tax and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. The IRS has you in their crosshairs. We are local and know how to deal with the IRS and state to solve your situation. Just the other week, we successfully removed the target on Nick to get $194,358 of taxes and penalties removed. This is why I started Right Choice Tax Resolution, to help people fight the IRS and state. You don't know the ins and outs of all the taxes they can charge you or the more than 150 penalties they can impose on you. Make the right choice and call us at 844-222-1192. We want to help so your bank account doesn't get wiped out, your paycheck or Social Security garnished, or a lien put on your house. Get rid of that stress and get back to enjoying life. The situation won't go away if you do nothing. Call us at 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us right now to book a meeting.
Hey, I'm Reba McEntire. In life, you'll hear a lot of people tell you that you can do anything you want. I'm here to tell you that's true. Since I was a little girl, I dreamed of becoming a successful singer and entertainer. It took a lot of hard work, dedication, and perseverance to find my success, but it was worth it. I never gave up on my dreams. Remember, you can never have a dream come true until you've had a dream. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Mark Tauscher on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman is brought to you by Fleet Farm. Remember, if Fleet Farm doesn't have it, then you don't need it.
Joining us now on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman is the Packers Hall of Famer, Mark Tauscher. Listen to Old T on Wilde and Tausch, 9 to noon across these very stations. Tausch, what's going on?
What's up, fellas?
Well, I didn't have Brad Nortman comparing Favre and Rodgers to Lincoln Kennedy, but here we are.
Lincoln Kennedy?
Yeah, Tausch, you've heard about the similarities between Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy, right?
Oh, I thought you meant Lincoln Kennedy, the old offensive tackle from
the Raiders.
With the Raiders.
Yeah.
You've heard the Lincoln Kennedy similarities, right? Like how, they both had secretary. Oh my God!
You don't know this?
Well, you said Lincoln Kennedy. I'm thinking offensive tackle. Help me out.
I mean, do I run through the list?
Abridged version.
All right. So basically, Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy had crazy similarities throughout their life. I'm going to just go through some of the highlights because I just went through the whole first segment going through it. I'm going to tell you why they're similar to Rodgers and Favre. So both presidents shot in the back of the head on a Friday before a major holiday, seated next to their wife, neither of whom were injured. Both were in the presence of another couple. In each case, the man was wounded by the assassin. Both were married to a 24-year-old girl when they were married who spoke French fluently. subsequently. Both were second children. Both were elected to Congress in year 47 and vice president runner-ups in 56. Both elected president in 60. What are some good ones? Kennedy had a secretary named Lincoln as her last name, and Lincoln had a secretary named Kennedy. Both their vice presidents, who they were succeeded by, both had the last name of Johnson. Andrew Johnson, born in 1808. Lyndon Johnson, born in 1908. Lincoln's assassin did it in a theater, fled to a warehouse. Kennedy's assassin did it in a warehouse, fled to a theater. Both were killed by a Colt revolver in one fatal shot. There's more in there, but that is the main part of it. Now, Rodgers and Favre are the new Lincoln Kennedy in eerie similarities. Tausch, get ready for this. Began their career on the bench. Both won a Super Bowl at age 27 in their 6th NFL season. Both spent 15 years as the main starter for the Packers. Both were traded to the Jets and then released. Now, Favre went to the Vikings, which Rodgers might do as well to complete the circle. But here's where it gets weird. Both of them, on their final 6 passes as a Packer, they both went 2 for 6 for 12 yards, concluding in a game-sealing, season-ending interception at Lambeau Field. And here's where it gets even weirder. Favre's final game as a Packer, the wind was blowing 12 miles an hour at Lambeau Field. In Rodgers' final game, the wind was blowing 4 miles per hour at Lambeau Field. Now, doesn't that just noodle your brain right there?
Yeah, I mean, that literally was a 3-minute diatribe on I'm starting to believe. And with the X-Files music playing in the background, there's a lot of eeriness there. Mm-hmm. And I'm guessing you think that means that the Vikings are going to bring him in, right?
I do. What do you think? Where do you think Rodgers is going to land?
Pittsburgh. No, I just saw
Okay.
Yeah, all of that, I'm starting to believe Pittsburgh.
No, I mean, all of that, and if it was a perfect world in the world of Brad Nortman with his theories, and by the way, I love the fact you did that much research. I'm guessing, Ben, have you ever done anything close to that much research, even if you had a class that was a research paper?
Whoa.
No, there's no way.
Yeah, there is. Big J journalist landed September 28th for Packers Steelers in Ireland with my sources.
Still to be confirmed.
That was impressive. And I gave you a shout-out today, giving Wildy grief that you bust more stories than he does. But all that said, I want this to happen. I think it'd be awesome to watch this unfold and have that whole Star Trek Galactica thing play out the way Nortman just had it. But I don't think that's the case. I don't think they're going. A-Rod is not going to want to go as a backup, and it sounds like they're all in on J.J. McCarthy, and it looks like Pittsburgh's going to sign him. Antonio Brown reported that he's going to sign a 2-year deal on CT ESPN, so I'm guessing that probably is going to be the case, and that's what makes the most sense.
Sources,
Rodgers,
baby, sources.
He's going to play.
That is hilarious, Tauscher. But Tauscher, 24 hours later now that the Green Bay Packers made this signing and free agency has been really off and running, are the Green Bay Packers now closer to the Minnesota Vikings and Detroit Lions, or are they closer to those guys that we hate from the South, the Chicago Bears?
Well, they're closer to Lions and Vikings than they were last year. I know unable to get over the hump.
You disagree?
I disagree strongly, but
tell me about it.
I want to hear. I want to hear. Yeah, I disagree.
Tell
greatly.
me why you think they're closer to the Bears because they lost to them in a meaningless basically preseason game, or what?
No, I think it's based off what the addition the Bears made in this offseason and what the Green Bay Packers, they made some decent additions, but when we look at the fact that the Minnesota Vikings, clearly they got better. They fortified their trenches as well. They signed some of their guys back too. And then on top of that, the Detroit Lions are a better football team than the Green Bay Packers overall. I just don't feel like the Green Bay Packers did enough to take the step towards the Lions and the Vikings, and they kind of stayed flat, whereas the Chicago Bears actually took a step forward based off this offseason. The Bears will be a better team than what they were last season.
You literally had this same conversation last year in April.
Not me.
And you had it the last 2 years. No, I mean, Chicago, this is what everybody does. No. They talk about how great their offseason is, and then it gets to be October, and it's like, what are we going to do? We don't have a quarterback. We don't have this. Our coach stinks, all this other stuff, and then you have teams that are actually competing to win. So I get it. I mean, it's easy to say that now. I understand why people do. But the Packers picked up the best offensive guard on the market, and – did you see the end? Did you watch the playoff game against Philadelphia, which we lost, in a tight game? What happened when Elton Jenkins went out? I know that's not the sexiest thing, everybody wide out corner, edge rusher. You also needed to address this, and it's not about just addressing a spot. It's about bringing in good players. And what's the last first or second day signing, big money, that Brian Gutekunst has put out that hasn't been good? Who is it?
No, I don't think. I think he does a good job of signing people, and I'm not saying these signings weren't good.
The Bears are close.
I think the Chicago,
the Bears did this better.
The Green Bay Packers, Tausch. We can't ignore the fact that the Green Bay Packers have to find guys that can make an instant, immediate impact. Now, will the guy that they got from the Raiders, whose name is escaping me right now,
Nate Hobbs.
Will Nate Hobbs turn out to be a stud like a Xavier McKinney? I don't believe so, but he could be good. But we need to get a guy at the receiver position that can be explosive because you're going into the season without having Christian Watson. We saw what this pass rush was last year, and Goody said it himself. You have to get home with 4, and the Green Bay Packers have done nothing so far to show that they're actually going to get home with 4. And so that's why I'm saying the Green Bay Packers didn't take as many steps forward, where everybody knows when you watch the Chicago Bears, they had a huge issue with the offensive line. And what did they do? They brought in some reinforcements to make that offensive line better, to allow for their quarterback, who is a good quarterback, to be able to have more time to throw the football as well. So all I'm saying is when I'm looking at it, I feel like the Chicago Bears did more to improve their football team to take that right step in the right direction. I'm not saying they're a Super Bowl contender. I'm saying they're a little bit closer to being in contention to making the playoffs, where the Green Bay Packers, I don't feel like we took enough steps to say, hey, this Packer team, they're going to be competing for a Super Bowl next year. It just didn't move the needle for me signing a guard and signing a corner that could play nickel, could play outside, versatile guy, but I don't think he's a stud.
Well, yeah, but nobody knows. And, I think the Bears had a longer way to go. And the receiver position, I understand. I think everybody's concerned. And the fact that they didn't bring Devontae in, I wish they would have.
Or call.
They didn't. It doesn't mean that they're done. There's a draft. We're not even in the official era where you're actually signed yet. So I don't know who is out there that you would make this, you would feel like, oh, we just got over the hump with whoever they brought in.
They gone.
You got who?
I said they're gone now. I felt like a Devontae Adams makes this team that much better. Like, I really felt like if the Packers would have brought him in, granted, he's not a long-term solution, but I think he's a guy beyond his ability on the football field, but his ability to be able to be a mentor to these guys and bring the young guys along, just like he got brought along as well when he was young.
Kyle, I was on board with your plan on that. I totally agree. I wanted Devontae. Devontae would have been a great fit with this group, but that didn't happen, and that's disappointing, but that doesn't mean that the Bears have now passed up the Packers or that the Vikings now have an unproven quarterback that has never taken an NFL snap. And you feel better about the Vikings than you do the Packers? If that's how you feel, I can't help you. Like, I just couldn't disagree more.
The weapons they have offensively, and look what Sam Darnold was able to do in that offense the previous year before. I just feel like that offense that they run there and the weapons that they have, insert any quarterback that's actually
we'll find out.
You're an O'Connell guy too, Tauscher. You're a big O'Connell guy.
I love O'Connell. He's a great coach. Yeah. I don't know. McCarthy couldn't pass the ball against Penn State, not against Ohio, when he had littered with first and second round picks everywhere on his Michigan roster. They won because they could run the football. I'm not saying McCarthy can't be a good quarterback. Is he going to have a year like Darnold just put up? I would say there's no way. And if they don't, they're going to be a middle of the pack NFC team. If JJ McCarthy's not big time, if he's not a great quarterback, he's in his first year as a starter. You think he's just going to play like Sam Darnold did? Is O'Connell that great? Maybe. But if you're a Vikings fan today, you could say, well, we got a good roster. Are there a wide receiver position better than Green Bay? Yeah, they are. I wouldn't say they're better anywhere else. And then when you start looking at the quarterback position, give me Jordan Love over an unproven J.J. McCarthy all day.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher joining us here on Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Tausch, naturally when the Packers don't, and I think it's the right decision to not get DK. I don't think he's worth the money you would have to pay him plus the capital to get him.
And the pick.
Yeah, I got there, the capital. With that being said, we know Devontae's not an option. As it pertains to the wide receiver room, what's next? I mean, like, we're gonna go thrift shopping through who's ever left on free agency next. I know you can find
I'm gonna
guys.
Blow your mind.
Do it.
I'm gonna blow your mind right now.
Do it.
You ready?
Yeah, I think we're on the same page. You're an acronym guy, aren't you?
It's MVS.
Yeah?
Yes,
Come on, Tausch.
Oh, my
God.
God.
I said it this morning. All right, here's the deal. I believe in Christian Watson. I know you guys don't. I think if he can just stay healthy, obviously blew his knee out, and we don't know what's going to happen. I'm not interested in like banking on a DK Metcalf or somebody else that their other team didn't want to pay. MVS has won Super Bowls. He has helped with MVPs, and I'm not saying he's the reason, but he's been a part of this. And what does he do? He's never been a great route runner, but he's got big-time speed, and he can bring you explosive plays. What does Christian Watson, what did he bring to this offense? Those things. And he's not going to be overly expensive. He knows the system. He knows Matt LaFleur. Bring him back in. Let him see if he can be a part of it. And trust me, I'm not sitting here saying that's going to elevate the offense to the next level, but you're asking what are some things you can do before the draft to make that room better?
I'm with you. I'm Team Tauscher. I'm Team Tauscher. I'm Team MVS.
Oh, okay,
all you're asking him to do is literally help you
and drop the ball and frustrate us and not get separation.
And he's 31. That speed is going to take a clip off.
Don't you do it.
You're lacking Christian Watson. You can't just go
draft a guy. I would rather draft a young guy than bring
who
somebody
says they aren't going to do that. He's basically giving you a solution to bolster the wide receiver room. Whether that means he's
a jack, just a guy.
Whether he is on the team by the start of the season or not. Stop getting at my guy, old T, for coming up with ideas based off where we're at in free agency. I asked him a question. You guys are snapping on him. I'm with you, T.
I'll take anybody but him. I'll take Strofe. Strofe, you go out there and run the damn route. I just can't do it.
Go run a fly route.
I can't put myself through that again.
I'm quick.
Well, I mean, Kyle, in fairness, you're of the belief that the Packers are closer to the Bears than the Vikings and the Lions. If that's the case, yeah, put Strofe out there. But I just, again, there's not a ton of other
that seemed disrespectful.
I mean, it's the truth, bud.
I'm not even really throwing shades. What's going on? And I'm not seeing things the same way as you guys are. I don't think this gap is some monster thing. You have to make some moves that you can actually do at this point. There's still a long off season. We're only a day into this. I guess that's my point.
Yeah, the only thing I'd like to add is how many times do we get hyped up for a draft and then we get guys and it's draft and develop for a reason. I'm not saying you can't draft guys that make an impact on your team, but are there any guys through free agency and through the draft at this point that you feel like could bolster your team to competing for a championship in 2025? It feels like they're a step away, which may be okay. It could be another season towards knocking towards a Super Bowl and Goody's 3 to 5 year plan. But you have to agree, yesterday didn't make you feel as if they attacked some needs at positions in free agency outside of guard, which the offensive line is important. Second half of the season, they weren't as good. Jordan Love against the Vikings, second to last game of the season, didn't have time. This gives them versatility. It's hard to knock a GM for investing in the trenches, but there are other needs, and those were kind of addressed at cornerback, but the glaring ones are not getting pressure and not knowing who wide receiver one is going to be.
Those are all fair points. You picked up a defensive back that I think, Jason this morning said is going to be an outside guy. They paid him as a slot corner. Between him and Nixon, I think you're going to see a draft pick at that spot. You're going to see a draft pick at wide receiver. But the bottom line, like every really good team, you have these pickups, and you probably have one or two pieces a year that you can go ahead and spend big on free agency. The Packers and Brian Gutekunst have been really good at it. They just picked up a corner and an interior offensive lineman, both critical spots to win. They're still banking, and you can say it's disappointing, and they're banking that some of their young talent at the receiver spot and on that defensive line, Devontae Wyatt, Lucas Van Ness, are going to be really good football players. You can disagree with that, but that's the Packer way, and you're going to continue to look for guys that might fit, that can come in and be, a help to that. But guys, there's not. Micah Parsons isn't sitting there. Trey Hendrickson is there. Maybe that's going to be the big, bold move that all you guys want, and I'd be all in to love to see it. But if you don't, that doesn't mean that this team can't win a championship. There's a full year of development that you have a lot of young players that need to get a lot better. They need to take a bigger step than they did last year. And if they do, you're telling me this team can't get over the hump? I think they can.
Well, the thing they have going for them is they're bringing a lot of guys back, so there wasn't a lot of things to fill in that case other than Jair obviously leaving, but they filled with the cornerback. You said exactly what it is. If the Guys that you need to step up, step up. It's just one of those things where if you're thinking to yourself, fool me once, shame on me, fool me, or whatever that thing is that I'm messing up, record scratch, you know what I'm
Fool
going.
me twice.
Lincoln Kennedy, I think.
Lincoln Kennedy, yeah.
Exactly.
Tausch, do you think Alex Strofe will have a kid by the time people pay off their 0 for 72?
Oh, in 6 years. Yes.
That's what my money's on.
Yeah.
I mean, he was telling me before, and I don't know who his new girlfriend is. Correct me if I'm wrong. He was telling me how much in love he is.
Oh, yeah.
Honeymoon phase.
So he is smitten, and I think that's his whole world revolves around her. So I would guess that you probably are going to get that done within that 6-year window.
Well,
no pun intended.
Pun intended. I'll take it. Forget the no pun. Pun intended. Thanks, T. We're going to talk about Gina Della.
You got it.
Gina Della from Pella in the flesh again. We're blessed by her presence again at the wonderful offices that we're in. And she walks in, you can feel everyone's energy uplift because you know why? She extended the offer. She extended the offer of 0 for 72 for you, KBN Nation, 855-PELLA-WI or PELLAWI.com. And, every time I walk out my back door, I'm like, I think I got to call Gina and Joe again.
Yeah, I mean, you just stare and look at the beautiful product. The thing that Gina brings to a workplace, she's got an impact, right? It changes. That's what Pella Windows and Doors will do for your house. It has an impact on it. The space change it. Take advantage, KBN Nation, of this 0 for 72 months. That deal does not come around very much. 6 years. Think how long that is. Strofe might have a kid by then. That's how long it is.
Not might, will.
Not might, will.
Let Gina know that you're expecting that Strofe will have a kid in 6 years, and she might chop off a little bit more off of the investment that you will be making with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. We're going thrift shopping. Who's left in the free agency pool? Tausch threw out MVS. You guys had a little hissy fit.
I wouldn't even spend $3 on him.
Yeah. If you love my girl, but I ain't spending $3 on her.
Nice, Brad.
Thank you.
You're doing good today.
I agree.
We go through who's left in free agency. Next.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman.
When I'm, again, doing the Pack Arena, and as a shareholder, when I'm sizing up my ring, I'm sizing up my ring
Pack Arena right now.
1 pack of 2 pack of 3 pack arena.
Hey.
What's
the rest of the words? Jordan loves Christian Watson. Nay, that's a touchdown.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman, and you may be wondering if you are a good candidate for QC Kinetics. If you're having pain in your knees, your hips, your shoulders, or your back, maybe having trouble sleeping or doing the things that you love doing, then yes, you could be a great candidate for QC Kinetics and the regenerative medicine. I know when I went to QC Kinetics and saw everything they have with my own 2 eyes, I was blown away at the tools in their toolkit to make sure that you get your life back. PRP, platelets, plasma, and they have so much they can do to give you your life back. From all the testimonials I've heard and from what I've seen with my own 2 eyes, it is unbelievable to see the before and after impact of QC Kinetics and their regenerative medicine. So don't wait any longer. Finally, get your life back as spring is unfolding. Get your free consultation today with QC Kinetics at 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Are you ready to shake things up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee? All you gotta do is toss your rewards card into your favorite slots for drawing entries and a chance to be in the Roll for Riches game show. What's on the table? Oh, just $300K in cash and prizes. Play this March, and Thursday nights, you could get on a winning streak that, frankly, you deserve. Let it ride and Roll for Riches. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At
Great Impressions Graphics and Printing. They've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years from their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee. Their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Fingers come in different sizes,
It's one of the first things you learn as a jeweler,
and a ring can only be sized up or down a little bit.
which means it's a really good thing to know your ring size.
And it's an even better thing to know their ring size.
This is why we're announcing
The Ring Size Registry at Kessler's.
we're doing it as a public service. It's completely free.
Free. Isn't that a great price?
Here's how it works.
Just drop into any Kessler's Diamonds location and tell one of the owners that you'd like to know your ring size.
Kessler's is an employee-owned company, so whoever greets you at the door is an owner.
They'll determine your ring sizes and add them to our Ring Size Registry.
Then, when someone wants to know your ring size,
Because, maybe they want to surprise you.
all they have to do is call or stop into Kessler's.
Surprises can be fun, don't you think?
We're happy to do this for you, even if you don't buy a ring from us.
But after you take a look around, we think you probably will. Visit KesslersDiamonds.com for a location near you and register your ring sizes today.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Here is our party. My posse's been on Broadway, and we did it all way. Chrome music.
I guess we're left with the scraps, huh? Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, here with you, KBN Nation, 800-990-3776. That's the Carpless Talk and text line. List is more. You see us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison, as it's time to figure out who the hell is left. Let's go thrift shopping.
See what I did there?
See what you did there, Stro.
Here are your top free agent wide receivers according to sportingnews.com. Now, this guy will not be a free agent until tomorrow, unless the Rams can find a trade partner, but have announced they will cut him. Super Bowl MVP from a few years ago, Cooper Kupp.
I watched him enough last year to see that he lost a step.
Yeah, he was on a fantasy team that I had, and he ain't doing much. And Jaden Reed is a better version of Kupp right now.
Yeah, he's old, and I don't want to say he's washed, but he's becoming washed.
Like, I explained this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. To me, Cooper Kupp looks like a guy that if he shaved his beard, it would grow back to the full beard because he's that old now, and I don't think Goody's going to want that.
But in his defense, on the Packers roster, he probably still one of the better.
He'd be great.
The better wide receivers. So,
but it's just not a Goody type.
Would he start in front of Dobbs and Reed?
I don't give a damn.
He's more reliable. Actually, I changed my tune.
But he's old. He was injured.
Yeah,
like, he's been injured a lot. This is a no.
He's washed, but he's worth the flyer. Because if we're talking about MVS, if we're talking about we
haven't gotten there yet.
No, but if Mark
let
Tauscher
Sporting News get us there.
Now going from the Devontae Adams train to now he's on the MVS train, then hell, I'm on the Cooper Kupp train.
It's more like the MVS caboose. Thanks, Strofe.
Let's go to former Houston Texan, former Buffalo Bill, former Minnesota Viking, coming off of a torn ACL. Stephon Diggs is available.
How old is Stephon Diggs now? He's got to be 31, 33? 32.
Yeah, he's pretty old.
Off an ACL? I'd rather have gone really aggressive
31,
after Godwin. I know he re-signed with the Bucks, but I'd rather be more aggressive with like that kind of guy, a target guy, a separator. Godwin was a target catch machine.
Kind of a high maintenance, toxic personality.
Doesn't fit the green and gold.
Yeah, he's
again, we got to look through this through the Goody lens.
Yeah, I'd rather have Kupp than Diggs.
Listen,
by far.
This man dates someone named Cardi B. Love her music. But when you are dating stars and famous people, I don't want you. Listen,
I don't think he's going to want to be in Green Bay.
You don't belong in Green Bay, Stephon Diggs. I'm sorry, brother. You are too much of a limelight guy. You're too much of a superstar. Heck, you wanted out of Minnesota, and then you wanted out of Buffalo, and now you gone from Houston. So I'll pass on him. And he's coming off a knee injury.
Amari Cooper, 30 years old.
I kind of like Amari Cooper. I would do it for like
vet man?
$4 million, something like that. 1 year, $4 million. He's a good dude.
Is this just
he runs?
Is just us recycling the former Buffalo Bills hammy Sammy Watkins?
I mean, kinda.
Yeah.
He's a step up from Sammy Watkins. Amari Cooper was a dude at one point.
Let's just stop. Amari, if you said no to Cooper Kupp, you should definitely be saying hell no to Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper last year was just below average. But listen, he's done. He's done. Is this it? His career's over.
If he was any good, Buffalo would be like, we got to find a way to get you back.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The Browns moved on from him because they knew it was over for him.
The Browns just stink, and they needed something for him.
The Bills don't stink.
That's my major point.
And before he left the Browns, it's not like he was having some spectacular season. I'm not sure if he was 100% healthy.
Anyone else coming that's good?
Entering his 13th NFL season.
Oh, gosh.
Keenan Allen.
Nah, he's a walking injury.
He's Alex Strofe.
Yeah, he is. He is. Keenan Allen,
a walking injury.
Yeah, that's a dude. But, now, just too old, too injured, and doesn't have the same pace on him that he once did. I don't know.
Okay, so with Keenan Allen, you know what you're getting. You're not getting the guy that's going to play 17 football games this year. You're getting the guy who's probably going to give you 12 games, and he's probably going to give you 5 really good games. Like, honestly, if he was on the Green Bay Packers roster, he is probably the highest ceiling of the guy going into next season for anybody on the Packers roster as a receiver. Because he can still have some games. He can't.
But it's not going to help them win a championship. No. So it doesn't build us through the Goody lens.
He's way too old. But I'm just saying. Last year, I don't think he had a terrible season.
Give us some people that you think Goody would even consider.
Oh, how about this one? Marquez Valdes-Scantling.
I don't understand why he would consider him. He's 31 and supposed to be a burner. You're not as fast as 31 as you are at 25, and he was ineffective at 25. So I don't understand this one. You're asking a guy to take the top off to replace Christian Watson. He's 31. Drops. He's been passed around from team to team. I don't know. I'm good.
Kyle?
MVS is done as well. He's not. Listen, as Brad just said, when he was here the first time, he never really turned the corner, and then he left the Green Bay Packers and still never really turned the corner. Yes, could he add a threat that runs downfield? Great. But he's going to drop the football or not be able to get separation. It's just a waste of a player.
In 8 games with the New Orleans Saints, he averaged 22.6 yards a catch.
Yeah, that's nice. He only has 17 catches.
Second in his career best in 4 touchdowns in 8 games.
2 catches per game, Ben. 2 catches per game.
What was Watson?
Well,
Watson
was
much
explosive.
Much more explosive. And he's
he had
younger.
big games.
You're asking him to fill a role.
He's
no
getting
Christian
worse.
Watson.
He's aging. He's going to fall off a cliff. No.
Did we just convince ourselves this is why Goody passes on 30-year-old guys? All these guys are over 30, and we have no interest.
Yeah, I know. There's only one 30-year-old that I thought looked good, and that was Devontae Adams. Other than that,
he's the only Cougar?
He's the only Cougar.
Maybe one more interesting name on this list that isn't even that interesting is 28-year-old Deontay Johnson, who apparently played for the Baltimore Ravens last year.
Yeah, and then he went to Pittsburgh,
he
right?
He
went from Pittsburgh to Baltimore.
He barely played because something happened where he got...
He's like a malcontent, isn't he?
He has been, yeah.
Like want him out of there for like locker room and diva.
Is that it?
Diva stats.
This is our free agent scraps.
I mean, there's not much left.
If you had to sign one, who would it be?
MVS.
You had to.
MVS, bring him in. Bring him in for the role. Bring him in for the role. I'm not asking him to be a stud. I'm asking him to play a role.
It's probably MVS or Kupp for me.
I'm going to go with... I take back Amari Cooper. I would do Cooper Kupp. He could at least coach these guys up on how to run a route. That'd be helpful.
Yeah, if Cooper Kupp can help our receivers the way that he may have ended up, I have no idea because I don't follow the Rams, but I'm sure he plays some type of role in assisting with Puka Nacua. So, I would definitely take Cooper Kupp.
No, literally assisting. It was a quick out to Puka Nacua, and Cooper Kupp was there to block. That was what they did.
Can he block for Jaden Reed? Can he block for Tay Wiggs? Can he block for Romeo Dobbs? And can he block
Might
for
as well
Josh
draft
Jacobs?
somebody to do that then, or put Malik Heath in a spot where he's blocking.
I wouldn't be mad about Cooper Kupp to be somebody who can just be there for a season to help the transition.
All right. After that exercise, I think we're all going to have to go home, and I know what Brad's going to indulge in thinking about these players.
I got the solution for you. After that list, boy, I need to go home and grab myself a carbless. I need to take the edge off, because when it comes to me hanging out, grabbing a ready-to-drink cocktail, there's no other place I grab than Carbless. The Nortman fridge full of Carbless, and now it's full of the brand new flavors of 2025 for Carbless. Listen to this. These will be the flavors of 2025. It will define your year and your upcoming spring and summer. The Tropical Bliss Variety Pack. Talking blood orange, which is outstanding. Watermelon, raspberry, grapefruit, each one of them knocks it out of the park. That's the thing. It feels like you're in a mini vacation. It feels like you crack open that can and you are transported into a beach. The sun is shining. Life is good. That is exactly what Carbliss delivers, because you know that Carbliss does not miss when it comes to their flavor. Not only that, the mango vodka cocktail is also an unbelievable tropical bliss getaway that is just so crisp and clean. Every time it does, it feels like I just plucked one out of a tree and I'm enjoying it. It's all the things that you love about Carbliss. Low carbonation, high on flavor, 0 carbs, 0 gluten, 0 sugar. That means 0 guilt with just 100 calories. Why grab anything else? I'll tell you why. Because Carbliss is the only go-to drink that offers both high flavor, guilt-free experience, and you should know by now, KBN Nation, that less is more with Carbliss.
Does the happiness of signing a guard and a cornerback outweigh the sadness of us looking through the rest of the free agent wide receivers? Anybody with a quick answer? No. Oh, wow. You guys are just full.
Think about that one.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, think about it. All right, think about it. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
I'm a seam head now. You can call me whatever you want.
Seam head?
I don't even know what that is.
That means I'm a baseball dork. All I do is sit and watch MLB Big Inning at night.
Head.
I've never heard that before.
This is because you're not a seam head.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
That's the idea of a deal. Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
I think Packers fans would sign up for 12-5 today, and maybe they will be.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN, and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Kyle Walls for Universal Windows Direct. Tax season is here, and what better way to reinvest in your home than with brand new energy-efficient windows? During Universal Windows Direct tax time sale, you can save big now. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and there's no limit. Need 4? You only pay for 2. And here's something that will make your wallet even happier. Pay no interest until 2030. Schedule your free in-home estimate or visit universalwindowsdirect.com, and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel from ESPN Milwaukee's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Golf season is going to be here before you know it, so you have to make sure you're ready to go at X Golf in Brookfield or X Golf in Mech 1. Take advantage of the state-of-the-art simulators that they have to make sure your game is in the best shape it possibly can be. Maybe you need a lesson from one of their PGA pros to make sure you're beating your buddies when it's time to play outside. Plus, you can take advantage of the great food and drink specials that they have. Book a tee time today, xgolfbrookfield.com or xgolfmech1.com.
Want to know where the snow is? Snow River Mountain Resort in Michigan's UP is buried in it over 125 inches of pure natural powder this season alone. Skip the airport hassle and head to the UP's only resort with high-speed lifts. We're talking deep snow, zero crowds, and a season that stretches well into April. Why fly south when winter's best-kept secret is right here in your backyard? Make this spring break legendary at Snow River Mountain Resort. Snow River Mountain Resort, where the snow stays longer and the lines move faster. Visit snowriver.com to book now.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some great news from my friends at Bank 59. For a limited time, you can earn as much as 4.8% on one of their CD specials. With 9, 17, and 25-month options, you're sure to find a CD that fits your needs while you earn a great return. It's simply another way Bank 59 is making lives better in our communities. Hurry! These high rates won't last long. Check out bank59.com/CD for more details. Member FDIC.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Nausheen Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
All right, right now, I'm motivated. It's not up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Sportsbook, but it should be. What are the odds that I win? Are you smarter than Ben Brust? Make up some odds, Strofe.
Plus... I think you got a shot today. Plus 250.
Oh, wow.
Plus 250. That's still steep. I figure like plus 125.
What's your record? No. Yeah, I'm going to say it's pretty steep.
Harsh losing streak.
It should be like
8-1.
How many 0-8-1 teams have plus 250 as odds? That's pretty good. You're UW Green Bay. Are you smarter than Ben Brust?
Hey, don't put disrespect on UW Green Bay. Their women's team going to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm the women's team.
The men's team. You're the men's team post November when they couldn't win a game.
That sucks to hear.
Tough. That's tough.
It's a reality.
Well, you can head on over.
Actually, Gottlieb's more successful than you.
He is. He's won more in 2025 than you have.
Well, there's a lot of year left for me, so I'm going to bank on that. But tournament time is here, and you know where to go. That's the 2,000 square foot video wall to watch all the magic happen. It's a great time of the year right now as well. Strophe, you know this. This is we're gonna reach Strophe productivity levels down significantly over the next week and a half. With tournament time, are you kidding me? We're not going to get anything from Strofe. But if he's smart, he's going to go over to Potawatomi Casino Hotel, use his reward card on the sports betting kiosk, great drink specials. It is a basketball fan's paradise. Build your bets at paysbig.com/sportsbook. Okay, I got to win. Should I be nervous about the question asker? I don't know who the question asker is. Is this a good question asker, a bad question asker?
It's good. Nervous probably isn't the right word.
What's the right word?
I don't know if I can give you a right word. I would rather you just wait and see.
I don't even know who the question asker is.
Well, you don't know anything that's going on ever.
I do know who it is.
As I say that, you're not even listening to me.
It's hard to find. It's hard to find a word to categorize this one.
All right, great.
Wow,
800. At this point, don't tell them.
No, I'm
not going to.
I'm not going to ask. I'm good.
No, you're not. I know. As soon as I go to break it, who's it going to be?
No, I'm good with the surprise. If I really cared, I would have asked earlier today. But I was like, you know what? I like it. Strofe didn't tell me. He didn't ask me for any assistance today, so I'm good with it.
Are you smarter than Ben Brust? Caller number 77 for the money that I'm just kidding. That
doable.
Aaron Banks is getting. It is
all
doable.
77 people who call in would still beat you. So it doesn't matter.
All right. Let's go caller 20, 800-990-3776 for Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? That is 800-990-3776, caller 20. You will get 15 questions in 90 seconds. You're allowed to say skip or pass. You will do the privilege of KBN Nation of either making me 0-9-1, 0-8-2, or I beat you and get my first win of the year in Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? Caller 20 in 2 minutes, 800-990-3776. Don't go anywhere. It's Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Be the MVP of gift giving with a Milwaukee Bucks gift card. From exhilarating Bucks experiences to unforgettable Fiserv Forum events, your gift card recipient can score tickets to Bucks games and other events through the Ticketmaster box office. Shop exclusive gear at the Bucks Pro Shop or get a favorite snack at Fiserv Forum's concessions. It's a win-win gift that lets them choose their experience. To purchase a gift card, visit bucks.com/gift cards.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's. Flavor is our family's business.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hey, ready to sweeten your game? It's time for Quick Trip's Nature's Touch Ice Cream. Ooh, making moves like the starting lineup of a championship team. Whether you're gearing up for the big game, celebrating a win, or just looking for a sweet break in the action. Chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, and more. Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad pick. So why wait? Flavor doesn't scoop itself. Get your hands on your winning Nature's Touch Ice Cream flavor today. Only at Quick Trip. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
It's not often that you are met with such a guest. Such a known person on this show in this airwaves. And if the goal is to get underneath Ben Brust's skin, then I think we got the guy right here. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman. I am Brad Nortman, alongside Kyle Wallace, alongside Alex Stroth, teeing you up for Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust, presented by Lakeland University. And we are joined this week with not only the brother of Ben Brust, but the biggest Bear fan on these airwaves, Jonathan Brust. Jonathan Brust is the question asker today, and you show up wearing
a disguise.
Honestly, let's think about it. You got to go with Smokey J. Kohler.
Okay.
You got to go with the man that had the most swagger, Ditka.
Yeah.
And then Nagy, I thought had the swagger, so I'd wear the visor today.
Wow.
You thought he had the swagger.
But I think Ben Johnson's going to have more swagger than all of them.
Okay.
So you're
like
just like a Mr. Potato Head mismatch of Bears.
I mean, are you guys scared yet?
He's a mismatch of losers.
Yeah.
Are you guys scared yet?
No.
What about our offensive line?
No. Listen.
I mean, what about what we've done on defense? Come on, guys.
JB,
you guys have improved,
we didn't bring you here to talk about the Boo Boo Bears. We brought you here.
Are you scared?
No. I'm not scared.
Be ready.
So we have Jonathan Brust, Ben Brust's older brother. You know him on these airwaves of being the delusional Bear fan. So, I mean, let's not wait any longer, Strofe. Let's go ahead and spin it.
For those of you who say Ben Brust is an idiot, here's your chance to be proven right. It's time to play Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust?
Oh boy, it is Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust, presented by Lakeland University. We are joined by Chad in Fitchburg today. And again, the questions will be asked by Jonathan Brust. Chad, how you feeling today?
Doing well. Let's do this, Jonathan.
How about that? There's Kyle
Chad,
Brust.
how do you feel?
Do you think you're going to get the victory over Ben?
I think he's going to be rattled by his brother.
I think he will too.
Oh,
actually.
he has no clue.
Yeah, he is going to be rattled. Now, but before we let Jonathan get going with you, Chad, here's how you play. 15 questions in 90 seconds to get as many answers correct as you can. You're allowed to say pass, and you can come back to it if you get through the rest. If you beat Ben Brust, you will win an ESPN Wisconsin prize package. Any questions, Chad?
Nope, I'm ready.
All right, Jonathan Brust.
All right, Chad.
Take it away. Give him a 3-2-1 and let it rip.
You think this is my first time ever hearing this segment?
But here you are. You're
I mean, I could have done the intro. There's one thing that bothers me. You always say, hey, you can say pass. It's pass or skip.
Oh!
It bothers me every time you say it. There's a reason why you're not the question answer anymore.
Wow. I mean, there's a lot coming from a Bears fan walking in here in all Bears.
I mean, mine is from China. That's actually probably a real NFL pullover because you played. But, I'm actually wearing it for a real team.
All right, Chad. Well, there you go. Go ahead.
All right, Chad, here we go. Are you ready? 3, 2,
ready.
1. What is the capital city of Portugal?
Pass.
What is the name of the ancient Egyptian writing system?
Hieroglyphics.
Which Beatle was known for playing the drums?
Ringo Starr.
What metal is primarily used to make coins in the United States?
Copper.
What is the square root of 225?
15.
Who was the lead singer of Nirvana?
Kurt Cobain.
Not counting Pluto, which planet is the second furthest from the sun?
Uranus.
Which continent is home to the Amazon rainforest?
Africa.
Which U.S. state is the Grand Ole Opry located?
Tennessee.
Who is the Roman goddess of love and beauty?
Pass.
Which pop singer released the hit single Rolling in the Deep in 2010?
Can you repeat?
Which pop singer released the hit single Rolling in the Deep in 2010?
Pass.
What are the 3 primary colors?
Red, green, and blue.
All right.
Still a very good performance from Chad in Fitchburg. That's a 7 spot. I will go get the brother of our star.
He missed some layups too, man. He missed some layups. So man, he took his time, but he had some. Yeah,
he could have slammed the door shut on Ben Brust, but Ben Brust leaves it a little bit open. But
7 out of 10's not bad.
Well, Ben's going to probably get through all 15. Yeah, that's the problem. In some of these, he's going to.
All right, I got to look at the door, gentlemen.
Jonathan Brust looking at the door, waiting for Ben Brust to walk in. He does, and Ben Brust is beside himself in disbelief. That's the only way I can describe this. Sunken shoulders, slinking to the chair, hands in the air, big smile on his face.
Shouldn't you be at work?
I can work away. Give me a hug.
Not now.
All right, well.
How did he read?
I mean,
like
pretty fluidly.
Kind of like you. He had a couple stumbles in there.
I feel like I'm living in the twilight.
Well, before we start, Ben, I got a little something for my baby niece.
Oh, she ain't ever putting that on.
Yeah.
An infant.
And
congratulations to the newest Nortman.
I'm good.
And Ben, I got a little something for you.
Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
I want that touching me.
All right, I got to take the stash off. Yeah, it keeps falling. All right, Ben.
Are you surprised, Benjamin?
I heard rumblings that this might be happening, but I just didn't even think today that this would happen.
Are you happy?
I don't know.
Yeah, how would you describe your emotions?
So here's what my mind
starstruck.
My mind goes to this is Does that mean I'm making dinner for him tonight too? Like, is he staying?
I ain't having your hormone chili.
Do I have to feed him? Do I have to take care of him? Make sure the fridge is stocked?
Oh yes, this is what I like.
I'm going home. I got a daughter on the couch from ACL surgery.
Oh no,
yeah.
the soccer star.
Classic Brust.
Oh no, what
Classic
happened?
Brust. Making about him feel bad for me.
Oh man, she'll be back next year.
Shout out to our wonderful daughter and niece, Cal.
This is a star goalie.
How about that?
She is a star goalie.
Yeah,
really
good state champion.
Good memory, Kyle.
No, they lost in the super sectional.
But she was a freshman starting on varsity, right? Or was that last
sophomore?
Sophomore this year. Okay.
All right,
Ben, you know how this game goes, right?
I can't take this seriously.
Ben, you got 90 seconds, 15 questions. Okay, I'll give you the option to say skip or pass.
What is going on?
You're cooked.
He's better than Brad.
He's better than Brad.
I don't even have the cheat sheet up with all the info. I'm going off of memory. I've heard it for way too long.
That's my thing. I'm impressed actually.
Yeah,
for as bad as he can be on the show, sometimes he actually can do the "Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust?" thus far.
It's my favorite part of the week. Every week, 3:00. I listen. If I don't, as soon as that dog walk starts, that's going on, and it gives me the giggles.
Well, make sure you check us out, Wisconsin On Demand, or on your podcast, or on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. All right,
Ben, I'm going to give you your countdown. Are you ready?
He's good. Yeah.
3, 2, 1. What is the capital city of Portugal?
Lisbon.
What is the name of the ancient Egyptian writing system?
Hieroglyphics.
Which Beatle was known for playing the drums?
Ringo.
What metal is primarily used to make coins in the United States?
Silver.
What is the square root of 225?
225. 15.
Who was the lead singer of Nirvana?
I know this. Pass.
Not counting Pluto, which planet is second furthest from the sun?
Is this the Soggy Waffles one? No, this is a different acronym. Pass.
Which continent is home to the Amazon rainforest?
Africa.
Which U.S. state is the Grand Ole Opry located?
The Grand what?
Grand Ole Opry.
Don't know. Pass.
Who is the Roman goddess of love and beauty?
Pass.
Which pop singer released the hit single Rolling in the Deep in 2010?
Never heard of it.
Oh wow. Gosh. What are the 3 primary colors?
Black, white, and red.
Oh my God.
What is the term for an animal that is active at night?
Strong, healthy male.
What is the largest landlocked country in the world?
Oh, man. I can't even look at you.
This is the
Wow, you got cooked.
Oh my God, man, you were cooking to start.
I know, I was cooking.
You
did.
You fell
Right on your face.
I thought Ben had a chance.
I thought he got it.
But once he got to Adele and he couldn't think it, I thought,
my
he's done.
God.
Rolling in the deep.
So
Black,
many
white?
misses.
Oh my God.
Got the first 3 right.
And then nothing.
Only got one more after that.
What was the score?
4-7.
Man, you're going to kick yourself.
Thanks, I know. It happens every time.
It's the intimidation.
It was.
factor.
You got to. You literally looked at him and said, "I can't take." Once you said it was over.
Did I say
I
that,
knew he was
did I
close.
say that
He
in
was
the middle
cooked.
of the question asking?
Yes, you did. You said, "I can't look at him."
I could.
Your internal thoughts came out loud.
This is my blood. This is my brother.
Yeah, it is your brother. You just lost to him. Now you're 0-9-1.
That's correct.
I can't even think about the record. I can't.
You should be giving him a hug.
Was this like when you were kids and you could just beat up little Benny whenever you wanted to?
Well, Ben, I will say, has never beaten me in a game of basketball.
No, see, you tell. See, now he's the story.
You're
the
undefeated against Ben
No,
Brust.
the true story is I beat him, and then he played me in one more game, and then he beat me and said, "I'm never playing you again."
No, that's not why you beat me. Dad said, let Ben win one game, just one time, and then don't play him anymore.
Here we go.
I don't want him to get hurt playing you.
That checks out.
And it helped you. Because look at you now.
you
Because
need
had he just
confidence.
kept beating you and beating you and beating you.
I'm sick of you. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of you, and I'm sick of all of you.
I love your fiance back there. She's so great. She took care of me for the past hour.
You guys hung out for an hour?
You've been here for an hour?
Yeah, I've been here since 2.
Oh, wow.
I'm actually disappointed in her because of one of the answers you didn't get right.
Why in her?
How in the world is she living with you and you don't know Adele?
I know hello.
Oh, my gosh. Goodbye.
You don't know Rolling in the Deep?
Rolling in the Deep. Rolling.
No, that's rolling down the river, bro.
Rolling down the river. We're going to switch seats. I'm going to talk about the Princeton Club and gather my thoughts. Because right now I feel like I just need to work out and just get all this weird energy out of me. And I know when I walk into the Princeton Club with the free childcare with the membership, I could drop Jonathan, my brother, off there and they would take care of him. They have clean health clubs. Madison location's amazing. The New Berlin location in February, there was 600,000 check-ins of people that went through the club, which generated 60,000 meals to local food pantries. That is why I love being a part of the Princeton Club, because you can have a strong body, a strong mind, and a strong community all in one. So take the tour, take the time. You're going to love it. It's clean. They have something for everybody. And join the Princeton Club for a better tomorrow. I gather myself. I give my brother a hug. And we go through the answers of Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Yeah, let them do it. I ain't doing it.
You're not going to hurt our feelings.
Come on.
Just mine.
Homer, come on.
Yo, fuck, I should be doing this time. I should be 2-6. That good enough for you? You need any more?
That's fair.
Need any
Homer,
more?
one.
Yeah.
Us?
Yeah. Y'all
2, 3, 4.
You're all the same.
There we
Nobody's
go.
as good as me.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Looks like we got a crash to start things off this afternoon on northbound 41 on the ramp from Good Hope Road to northbound, so watch out for that. Otherwise, we've got southbound backing up just a little bit right past Capitol Drive. Northbound 43 slowing down from North Avenue all the way up to Keith. And a quick tap of the brakes westbound 94 right in the stadium interchange. Traffic is brought to you by Granite Peak in Wausau. Visit granitepeak.com for lift tickets and lodging packages. Granite Peak, where winter lasts longer. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 32. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 45 at the lake, 53 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
Expectations are high in Green Bay.
Green Bay is a different measure than most other teams in the league. We measure ourselves by Super Bowl championships, which a handful of other franchises do.
Will the green and gold take the next step?
But to your point, you feel like they don't have enough superstars, right? Yeah. So go out and bleep and get one.
The Packers offseason lives here. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN. And streaming live on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channel.
Whether you're about to graduate high school or have been in the workforce for years, it's time to take control of your future. Welcome to Lakeland University, where you call the shots. We use our flexible learning formats to customize your degree path. In-person, online, and virtual classes are all available. Lakeland University is designed around you, your goals, your schedule, your future. You can even earn up to 25% of your degree via paid work experiences. Ready to take control of your future? Let us customize an education to fit your needs. Visit lakeland.edu/ESPN to learn more.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some great news from my friends at Bank 59. For a limited time, you can earn as much as 4.8% on one of their CD specials. With 9, 17, and 25-month options, you're sure to find a CD that fits your needs while you earn a great return. It's simply another way Bank 59 is making lives better in our communities. Hurry, these high rates won't last long. Check out bank59.com/CD for more details. Member FDIC.
Are you ready to shake things up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee? All you gotta do is toss your rewards card into your favorite slots for drawing entries and a chance to be in the Roll for Riches game show. What's on the table? Oh, just $300K in cash and prizes. Play this March, and Thursday nights, you could get on a winning streak that, frankly, you deserve. Let it ride and roll for riches. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Look what I found.
What is it?
It's a list of the traditional and modern anniversary gifts for each year of marriage.
Sarah and I use a different list. But go ahead and tell us about yours.
The traditional gift for your first anniversary is paper, but the modern gift is a clock.
Well, our list says the first anniversary is always diamond jewelry.
What's your list called?
The People's Choice.
The traditional gift for your 6th anniversary is iron, but the modern gift is wood.
What a coincidence. For the 6th anniversary, our list says diamonds again.
What do you have for the 10th anniversary, Rick?
Traditional is aluminum, modern is diamond jewelry.
Well, there you go. Our lists agree.
What have you got for the 7th anniversary?
Copper and a desk set.
Nope. Diamonds again.
I'm beginning to see the wisdom of the People's Choice list.
It's good to have you on board.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did you make up that People's Choice list, or is it real?
Well, we're people, aren't we?
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
9-1, and Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? I don't even know if I'm staying after the show to hang with Alex Drofe, my brother Jonathan, who was the surprise guest for Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust question asking.
You're not gonna hang out with us?
I mean, I'd prefer him come to my house. I got to pick up the daughter from daycare. Don't you come here to drink with Strofe?
Yeah.
Or did you come here to see your niece?
I'd rather see Strofe than you.
He came here to whoop you in Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? He's been waiting for this.
A victory beer.
Well, the official Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust grader here on Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. 800-990-3776 is the Carb List Talk and Text line. List is more. Dr. Strofe, 35 out of 36 on the ACT score here. I don't know why he says BJ, because that was my nickname growing up.
I think he's being rude because he's a Bears fan.
Oh, got it. You had some goof-ups, but overall, great job. A-.
It's a good score.
It's a good score from the official grader. Yeah. That grade continues to be graded throughout your asking and answering of the questions and answers as we go through what I did.
Okay. Are we ready? So, what is the capital city of Portugal?
Looking at Portugal as a potential honeymoon spot.
Oh, really? Yeah. When are you going? I'm going to Portugal, too.
Well, now I'm not going when you're going.
Don't go in September. Hey!
Early?
Mid, yeah. 17th, 15th. Are we buddies? Oh, I can't wait.
What is it?
Lisbon.
Okay.
Yeah, he did good.
You got it right.
Yeah.
All right. What is the name of the ancient Egyptian writing system?
Hieroglyphics.
Okay.
Cooking.
Now, on this question right here, I did pause for a second. I paused for a reason after Ben's answer. The question is, what Beatle was known for playing the drums? And you said
Ringo.
Okay. What is the official answer? Is it Ringo or is it Ringo Starr?
Ringo
because
Starr.
Chad said Ringo Starr.
So my Slumdog Millionaire here was Celebrity Jeopardy. It was a, Potent Potables.
Nobody asked for his
drummers named Ringo.
All right. Number 4.
That's good.
What metal is primarily used to make coins in the United States? It is definitely not
lead.
Nope.
Give me the answer.
Copper. Now, this is the final question that Ben got right. What is the square root of 225? It is 15.
Good job, Ben.
Ben, the lead singer of Nirvana is who?
Oh, this was going to pain me.
We've had this one before.
Do you want the initials?
Last week.
Initials.
KC.
Kansas City Chiefs. That's the first thing comes to mind.
Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that.
Really?
So, not counting Pluto, what is the second furthest from the sun?
Neptune? What is it?
It starts with a U.
Uranus.
I just wanted you to say that.
There you go.
That is my question.
Nailed it. Funny guy over here. This guy.
He's a winner, too. Look at him just laughing.
Yeah, victory laugh.
Yeah, look at me. I thought of that question. It's so funny.
All right. Which continent is home to the Amazon rainforest?
This was disappointing.
Yeah, it really
for
was.
Both,
South America.
Yeah.
It's
I love me some Africa, though.
So, which state is the Grand Ole Opry located?
I still don't know the last Opry.
I'm just reading exactly how it was on the sheet.
What is the Grand Ole Opry?
Is
that a building?
It's a music venue.
It's a venue.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a venue in Tennessee.
It's a classic country music.
It's
venue.
not just country, but
historically
it's really big country.
Look at this knowledge. Look at this knowledge.
Why is he so much smarter than you?
Yeah, he's got a lot more.
Because we're playing a 5th grade game that he can't even win.
What were you doing when he was in the 5th grade? You failed your brother.
When I was in 5th, when he was in 5th grade, I was
in college,
junior in college.
Now you knew something was wrong when you come home, Mom, Dad. What's going on with this? It's so different.
Why do you think I stopped playing on basketball? Who is the Roman goddess of love and beauty?
Do I know the name of this person?
Venus.
Also planet,
Oh, yes.
I'm your Venus, I'm your fire, your desire.
I get it. Yeah.
So, which pop singer released the hit single "Rolling in the Deep" in 2010?
Adele. We've been through
I got to
this.
go through it.
I only know "Water Under the Bridge" and "Hello."
All right,
you don't know
both
Adele.
of you guys got this question wrong. I could have brought my second grade daughter into this room, and she would have got this right. What are the 3 primary colors?
Okay, should I get another shot at it?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Red, blue, yellow.
Oh, yeah.
Bingo. There
You
we
said
go.
black and white?
Black and white and red, yeah.
Well,
Wow.
I
Where'd
mean,
you get that from?
because I don't
Wisconsin
know.
Badgers.
I think he just looked at the ESPN Milwaukee logo behind Kyle, and he was like, those 3.
So, last 2 questions left that Ben got to. What is the term for an animal that is active at night?
Come on now, you know this.
Nocturnal.
Yeah,
There you go.
man, you should have answered that like 10 minutes ago.
And what is the largest landlocked country in the world?
Landlocked country.
You'll never get it. We could be here all day. It's Kakistan.
It's a country we often reference on the
Kazakhstan?
That's the one.
Home of Borat? Very nice.
There are your answers for this week's Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? And Chad, great job for being smarter than Ben.
So you knew a lot of these, so it was the intimidation
It was
factor.
today. I'm not gonna lie. I couldn't think.
You were shook and you were
Intimidated
shaking.
by the older brother.
Yeah.
He's exactly what you look at when you're at a Lambeau Field Packer game and Bears fans come to town. You're like, oh, this guy's going to sit next to me? Like, I got to sit next to this guy the entire time?
Strofe, that's why we're hanging out later.
Yeah, I don't understand. You're supposed to be some like really good basketball player who can handle pressure. The way that you just shriveled up and fell flat.
Well, you got
Reversion.
to remember, he lives in a different state. He's got 6 children. He's supposed to have a job. I don't know how he's here right now.
He has vacation days. He's like Brad.
I'm in outside sales. I was on the phone all the way up calling people.
Okay, so you can work remotely.
Yes.
Allegedly.
I never
Very
asked,
remote.
but he was like, I can do it any Tuesday you want.
Jeez.
Do you have a job?
Yes. No,
have you seen the
I had lunch with a former client up here in Milwaukee.
Oh, good.
So
It's a write-off.
Can I throw him under the bus a few more times? Of
course.
JB?
Well, as long as it doesn't incriminate him.
Oh, no, it won't. So when we agreed that this would be the date he came up, he's like, oh, don't worry about it. I'll just hang out with Greg Scalzo and Craig Karmazin until I have to come on the air.
My
And
gosh.
in my head, I'm like, do you think we don't work around here? You don't think these guys have meetings or like are important as the vice president and CEO of the company?
Greg Scalzo, former co-host, was a very integral part, and you might see his name in a press release somewhere. Am I right, Strophy? Was he in the press release? Or was that just Craig?
I think it was just Craig.
Well, either way. Craig and Greg, I'll give Greg some credit.
Cool.
For those who saw the announcement, this is newsworthy. I don't know why we didn't even talk about this.
It is dope.
The Milwaukee Brewers are going to be airing on free TV for you. We have partnered with Fox 6 to have Brewers games on 10 local games for you to watch simultaneously with FanDuel. So if you don't have FanDuel and you get to go to Milwaukee Brewers on Twitter, on Facebook, you can see the list of games. The home opener is going to be locally aired for free over the TV. I mean, think about it. You don't even need to have a cable subscription. You could be an antenna person. You could be an antenna person and watch the Brewers on local television. There are affiliates across Madison. You got Fox Valley. You're going to have Lacrosse. You're going to have Rhinelander. Obviously, I mentioned Fox 6 in Milwaukee. But you just, this is huge.
Huge.
Good Karma Brands partnering with many organizations to make this happen. So we're proud of the work to bring Brewers fans a free-to-watch avenue for the Milwaukee Brewers this coming season for 10 games, which is just awesome. I can't wait. Kyle, you're a Brewers fan. Say something.
No, I am excited. Yeah, this is pretty dope that people actually have it on broadcast television. You get the Milwaukee Brewers. I know how much of a struggle it is when I did have cable, so I could watch it at my home. But when I went to baby girl house before we moved together, I struggled. I couldn't watch it. I had to find other ways to catch my Bucks and my Brewers. So it's great so we can watch our hometown teams regardless of where we are in these local markets.
Well, and nothing really encapsulate the summer vibe than throwing a Brewer game on as it's warmer weather. I think it's one of the opening days potentially that they're going to be able to air it. So, I mean, love listening to it on WTMJ 620. But every once in a while when you want to watch it, man, that's the perfect way to make it accessible. I'm excited.
You'll still find it on the Brewers Radio Network and 620 WTMJ. Great radio talent, but also to offer some 9 primetime Tuesday night games.
Cool.
on Fox 6 is going to be amazing for all of you Brewers fans out there that have struggled with consumption. Struggle no more for those 10 games that we just mentioned, and make sure you go check out the Milwaukee Brewers on socials so you can find out how to watch. Jonathan Brust, I don't know what you're going to do for an hour and a half. I guess you just told us.
He's going to brag about the Bears.
I got a victory. That's all I got.
He came in here and he said, well, you guys are scared of the Bears now, aren't you?
Nobody's scared of the Bears.
Scared of the dang Bears.
Hey, 3 straight seasons in a row, Bears have won the offseason.
And what has that led to?
That's it. That's all we've won right now. But I have some hope this year.
You said it every year. Last year you told us that he was the best quarterback in Caleb was going to be the best quarterback in the NFC.
A lot of the guys that came all took less money because they want to play for Ben Johnson with Caleb Williams.
All right.
Caleb
Williams sucks.
Caleb Williams sucks. I actually have a problem with this, Strofe. Kyle said Caleb Williams is good earlier to Mark Tauscher.
He's not bad.
Oh, yeah.
Caleb
What's going on
Williams
with you?
He's not.
Kyle,
what has he done to prove that he's a good NFL quarterback?
Are you just saying now that they've invested in their offensive line, you're scared as a Packers fan?
I'm not scared. All I'm saying is, it's nice not to be running for your life all the dang time. Now, he's going to be like, oh, wow, I have some time. Now, decision-making after that, we'll see what happens, right? You can't just throw quick routes to DJ Moore all the time, but at least he'll have time. He ain't got to run around there and be a magician, or failed magician at that.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Alex Strofe on the show. UKBN Nation at 800-990-3776. We're on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. I'll see you later, Jonathan Brust. The show continues next.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
Caleb Williams sucks.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Southbound on 41, we've got some backups from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. Still dealing with the crash on the on-ramp from Good Hope Road to northbound 41, so heads up with that. Southbound 43, backing up a bit from Keefe down towards Burleigh. Northbound slowing down from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keefe. And then westbound 94, just watch out for some delays from 27th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 32. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 45 at the lake, 53 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
That weird Wisconsin weather is here. Snow one day, sun the next. But you can always count on Tsunami Express to keep your car clean. With 6 locations across southeastern Milwaukee, Tsunami Express helps fight that salt, grime, and mud with powerful vacuums and state-of-the-art wash technology. Technology like their best-in-class T2 with graphene for a long-lasting shine and protection. Stop at any Tsunami Express location and get your first wash free when you sign up online at TsunamiExpress.com. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Terms and conditions apply. First wash free for new members only.
Kevin Moret here for Mentality. Life's a relentless competition, and you might be losing without even knowing it. With testosterone levels plummeting 25% in just 2 decades, you're likely operating at a fraction of your potential. Your kids sense it when you're too exhausted for playtime. Your wife notices when that spark fades. Here's the harsh truth. Without addressing low T, nothing works. Diets fail, workouts fall flat, but there's hope. Mentality's FDA-approved treatment restores testosterone by an average of 30%. Don't let low T rob you of life's precious moments. Start at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Hey guys, it's Jen. If you're looking for the experts in home additions, remodeling, and construction projects, then look no further than my friends Mike and Michelle at PCI in Waukesha. Professional Construction Inc.'s priorities are family, relationships, investing in their community, and doing exceptional work on all of your construction needs. So if you're looking around your place and wondering, how could I update this space? Contact my friends Mike and Michelle at PCI. If you want more information, you can visit their website, professionalconstructioninc.com. That's professionalconstructioninc.com.
Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action. Over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. Simple to play. Pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in more than 30 states. The app is really easy to use. To create a lineup, all you have to do, pick more or less on a few player stats for your shot to win up to 1,000 times your money. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join over 10 million users and sign up today. Combine your favorite basketball players with players from baseball and hockey, esports, and much, much more. Second half of the basketball season is here, and the race to the playoffs is heating up on PrizePicks, the best place to cash in on your favorite sports. And don't miss your chance to cash in as the league's best fight for playoff positioning. Download the app today. Use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. Run your game.
Your first time driving a stick shift. The car, sporty. Your teacher, nervous. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Online Activation Zone, so you can easily shift your direct deposits from your old clunker of a bank to Associated Bank in just a few clicks. You've got this with Activation Zone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
All right, well, look, here's the thing. I want to know from Kyle specifically, because I want to be very clear about the way Kyle's positioning this, because I don't want him to get in a box that he doesn't want to be in. The question we asked Mark Tauscher, and I had this conversation with Mark Chimura this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on 94.5 ESPN from 7 to 9. Strofe will be hosting on Wednesday and Thursday of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Cool.
I asked him, are the Packers potentially the worst team in the division? No opinion, just wanted to see where old Packer Hall of Famer, who mentioned Ron Wolf about 15 times today. That was probably low for Chewy.
That's an old
reminiscing
right
about the days. It's like Ron would invest in superstars. Superstars. What's Goody doing with this guard and this versatile safety, or versatile corner? Are the Packers closer to the Vikings and Lions, or are they closer to the Bears? And I want you to stay with me in this question, because if we were to tier this, right, I think it's fair to say, based off of last year, tier 1 was the Vikings and Lions. 14 and 13 games won respectively. The Packers won 11 games and did not beat either of those teams throughout the season. The Bears, where did they finish? 7 and 10, probably, somewhere around there.
I think that's right.
So my point being is, if you just took the records and tiered them, Tier 1, like Lions and Vikings. Tier 2, Packers. Tier 3, Bears. Did the Bears' offseason moves move them closer to the Packers? Or did the Packers do enough to move them closer to the Lions and the Vikings? I think they're all on the same tier, in my opinion. Whether you think, they're on a certain tier, you tell us at 800-990-3776. Are the Packers closer to the tier 1, or are the Bears getting closer to tier 2?
Yeah, for me, I feel like the Chicago Bears are getting closer to the tier 2. I mean, they made good moves. I can't sit here and act like they didn't. I saw an issue. We all saw the issue with the offensive line, and they basically rebuilt their offensive line and brought in, we brought in the best guard. That's what Tauscher said. Well, guess what? They brought in the best center, right? They got better on the offensive line. They're getting their quarterback more time to pass the ball. They're getting an offensive line that maybe can open up more holes for whatever running back they decide to have in the backfield there. And at the end of the day, Roma Dunze, he's not a bad receiver, and I saw it myself when he made a big play against the Green Bay Packers. So overall, I just feel like the Chicago Bears got a little bit better, and I feel like the Green Bay Packers did not make enough moves to keep up with the Detroit Lions or keep up with the Minnesota Vikings, because guess what the Vikings did? Not only did the Bears focus on interior, the Vikings also signed a center and a guard. They brought reinforcements to the offensive line, while on top of that, adding to the defensive line and adding a guy in Jonathan Allen who has found success, adding a guy in Hargraves that's found success as well. So that overall football team
slow down. Hargrave. Well, now I'm confused. He's got me. But
just move on.
But Hargrave's just a success.
I need some water.
Yeah, you did.
But overall, my whole point that I'm trying to make is this. If we know how good the Detroit Lions are, they're a very good football team, and they lost a corner, but they brought in a good corner in DJ Reed. They invested in a position that already wasn't a bad spot for them, but then they brought in a guy that's really, really good. The Minnesota Vikings, they didn't lose a lot of pieces. They added pieces, and yes, they have an issue at quarterback. We don't know what J.J. McCarthy's going to be, but They could still add a quarterback, as Brad was talking about, in an Aaron Rodgers or somebody else, but they have a lot of great weapons on that offense. The Green Bay Packers just did not do enough to move the needle or move forward, get closer to the Lions and get closer to Vikings, whereas I see the Chicago Bears made enough moves to go from bottom, feeders to, just, a C team.
I'd like to know on Twitter at KBN ESPN, who in the NFC North has had the best 1.5 days of free agency, because there's still some day to go. But to this point, when people are answering the question, Strophy, I'd love to know, of all the NFC North teams, who has had the best day and a half?
To me, the answer to that question is the Minnesota Vikings. Now, I know that Sam Darnold left, but they might have one of the best rosters in all the NFL if you just take out the quarterback.
But you can't just take out the quarterback. Now, that's why I find this a fascinating question.
True.
Because this is part of the equation. Part of the offseason and in the 1.5 days we're going to be asking this question is they literally traded Darnold to the Seattle Seahawks to say, right now it's J.J. McCarthy coming off an ACL injury. That's part of the equation. That's why if you vote for the Vikings, you're saying you believe in Kevin O'Connell and J.J. McCarthy.
Well, I believe in Kevin O'Connell. J.J. McCarthy is yet to be seen. They must have a lot of confidence, whatever that backup plan is, if they're willing to let Sam Darnold just walk out the door. So it's either J.J. McCarthy, and they've seen everything they need to see for him to say, okay, we are good with this rookie quarterback coming in here, earning a rookie salary, allowing you to do more, and being able to invest in every other place around the roster. They've done that. They've gotten better in the trenches. They were already good in the trenches. Re-signed Aaron Jones. We know their weapons are elite. We know their defense is excellent, led by Brian Flores. And we know Kevin O'Connell's a mastermind. If they bring in Aaron Rodgers, who is still a capable quarterback, and again now 2 years off of the Achilles, they are going to be a force to be reckoned with. And the Detroit Lions, you're right, they basically exchanged cornerbacks. Let's not forget, Aiden Hutchinson is coming back next year. He was a guy that didn't even play most of the year last year. Yeah. So they are at least the same, if not better, personnel. Yes, they lost their coaches, but the Vikings and the Lions are still the kings of the division. The Packers, marginally better, I suppose, and the Bears got significantly better.
They needed an impact player, and they didn't get an impact player. And
if Jair doesn't come back, I mean, not that he played the whole season, it's kind of a wash at that position.
But when you think about this, right, Kevin O'Connell and that team, they've been able to take quarterbacks and make them good. Like Kirk Cousins wasn't a bad quarterback, but the fact that Sam Darnold came in there and now is being paid to be a starter in a whole different place, that just shows you that offense is a good enough offense. They have a good enough mastermind at offensive coordinator / head coach to be able to be a great team. And so that's why JJ may be an unknown, but guess what? He was a first-round pick for a reason. There's some type of talent and potential inside of there, and I believe the Minnesota Vikings have the weapons around him to tap into that potential. I mean, that is a great situation to be in.
800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talking text line. This is more. On Twitter at KBN ESPN, of the NFC North teams, who has had the best start to free agency? The Bears, the Lions, the Packers, or the Vikings? I haven't clicked yet.
We're in fourth place. Like we're legitimately in fourth place,
but the Lions just swapped
runaway winner.
Swap positions right now. Is there anything else that they did?
Nah.
The thing is, they didn't have to get that much better. Yeah. They are already so good across the board. It was their coaching staff that they lost.
That's true, and they were decimated with injuries on the defensive side of the ball. When they even played against the Green Bay Packers, and Brad said they're going to get guys back. So for me, overall, I don't think the Green Bay Packers did a bad job. But again, the Green Bay Packers, we knew what the glaring holes were. But after free agency, we still have glaring holes.
Josh and Kenosha, you're up on the Carbless Talking text line. Early results, the Bears are at 71%.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'd also like to say I have a new favorite, Brust, fellow Bear fan there.
Yeah, he's boo. Boo. Do we have to Seinfeld our guy Josh out? I know you had a beer with him. We'll test if you care about content or beers with Josh and Kenosha.
We'll see. So I don't want to say that the Packers have necessarily dropped off too far. They've made a couple of good moves to help solidify their team. I know they haven't made the big splash like the Vikings or the Bears have so far.
There it is. The Packers haven't made the big splash like the Vikings and the Bears, per Josh and Kenosha, the Bears fan.
He's kind of right, though.
I mean, they have it.
No, Josh, you're not wrong. It's just it's kind of salty right now. Well, it's just I had my brother here in the mustache.
Too much Bears optimism.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Too much Bears.
No. Listen, I'm not optimistic about the Bears being good. I just said they got better. That's all I'm saying. They're not.
Plus, we have NFC North Brad. I mean, he loves the Bears, the Vikings, and the Lions more than the Packers.
Well, that's not necessarily true, but I'll call. I do think that the Vikings and the Lions they're better football teams than the Packers for sure, and the Bears made up a big gap on that third place. They were kind of the doormat of the NFC North last year.
They're still a doormat.
I don't know if they're a doormat
They're a
anymore.
doormat that you got to look down before you step over it, right? So you don't
I don't
trip.
know if it's that far anymore. I looked up. I thought they were like 7-10. They were 5-12 last year. That's pretty bad.
That's bad.
I think.
That's right. Because remember, after the Hail Mary game, they lost like 8 straight.
Collapsed.
But this football team, based off how good the division is, right? That's why they're still going to be a doormat in the division because they're still the fourth best football team in the division.
But the Packers went 1-5 in the division.
That's fine. The Packers competed a lot better than the Bears did.
I mean, that's true.
And we won 11 football games last year.
I just think they're not going to be as easy of an out next year. Yeah, look at the Bears on the schedule. And you say, that's a win.
Well, last year,
historically.
we struggled with them a little bit
last year. Struggled with them. I mean, I know Week 18 was kind of a weird fluky game, but it took Carl Brooks' middle finger.
Yeah, we struggled with them last year. I think next year we'll be able to go back to beating them up.
Why?
Simply because we're the Packers.
Look at that logic and knowledge from Kyle Walls. Bringing the heat today.
We have a down year against somebody. Like, all right, because to me it didn't seem like the Bears were that much closer. It just seemed like they competed better against the Green Bay Packers. The Packers didn't play well. They didn't play well the first time against the Bears, and the second time we lost our quarterback early on in that game.
That's true.
So I was like, And then our coach made a terrible, terrible clock management decision with his assistant head coach and Rich Bisaccia, who gets paid a lot of money to make mistakes.
Damn, there's a lot of
shots.
You got you got a weird vibe.
Do I?
Yeah.
No, I'm
you're just like talking through it. Like you don't have passion. You're just like you sound numb.
He's still going through the 5 stages of grief.
No,
you're
I
still
am.
shaking from Jonathan Brust.
No doubt.
45 minutes.
I mean, my brother showed up out of nowhere on a Tuesday. It's a little shocking.
It is an unbelievable revelation.
Brad's the only one in normal.
Yeah, because his heart's not attached. I mean, he loves talking Green Bay Packers, but I mean, the Jaguars and the
Carolina
Panthers signed them checks.
Put some respect on that.
Whereas, I'm an owner of the Green Bay Packers, so I'm indifferent about some of the moves that were made. Again, I like the moves that were made, but at the end of the day, you guys know what it's about. The Packers consistently make the playoffs. I don't care about making the playoffs. I care about winning a championship. And if my team isn't giving me hope to win a championship because they're not making the moves necessary to get them closer to that, then what is it for me to be excited about? I'm serious. An offensive lineman that is good, but has some inconsistencies. We talked about it yesterday. He had a lot of pressures that he allowed. Like, he didn't allow a lot of sacks, but he allowed a hell of a lot of pressures, right? And then you have a guy at Hobbs who, again, he had bright spots, but then also he had injury issues, right? He wasn't like he came in and we just, like last year we signed McKinney and we signed Jacobs, and what we say, those are dudes. Like, those are going to be dudes. We're not saying that right now because there's more to be seen. And when there's more to be seen, I can't get super excited about this football team taking the next step. So that's why I'm indifferent.
And that's why I wanted to push you. I think that's the most intelligent thing you've said all day, Kyle.
Oh, wow.
I mean, if you compare,
it was solid.
You compare last year's. I mean, we were throwing a party.
Well, let's get there in a second here because Kyle is. I want to know what we're going to do tomorrow for sure. Is I want to see if we have reaction from Kyle of day one free agency last year with McKinney and Jacobs. My man was probably to the moon.
Yeah, I was all over the place a little bit, but I was excited.
And what is wonderful about being outdoors, speaking of the moon, is walking past a yard and just going like, damn, that's my yard. I'm proud of it. You can be proud of your lawn.
Ooh, I can't wait.
I know you can't wait, Kyle.
I'm proud of that lawn.
You know why? Because the Weed Man is coming.
The Weed Man is coming.
Thank you, Weed Man.
Weedman.com to get 50% off your first treatment. Here's why you need Weed Man. You hear us talk about it on the show all the time. They have that lush, green, weed-free yard that you're going to need. They make it happen. That's where Weed Man Lawn Care comes in because it is kid and pet friendly. I got both. I got 2 dogs and a kid. I did the double, triple check. I said, you said it's Kid and Fred Penley, right? You said it's Kid and Fred Penley? Okay, I'm in. That was part of the thing. I don't know. You kid and pet friendly? Yeah, they're kid and pet friendly. There it is. Plus, they use golf course quality fertilizer and effective weed control, and that is part of the winning game plan. So get a free quote. Go to weedman.com. Get 50% off your first treatment. That is half off with the Weed Man. Weedman.com. Weed Man for the win. Kyle Wallace, true feelings are starting to come out. He is just kind of at a moot point. He's just moot. You're boring. It's like you don't care about the Packers anymore. What happened to you?
Whoa, now we're just tripping. Now you're going through your little phases, and now you're lashing out. Your brother came and surprised you. You're shaking that you're 0-9-1, and it comes to Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? Now you're lashing out against me. Don't you put that Packers hate on me now, Benny Brust.
There's no Packers hate. You just are not holding Goody accountable. Next.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman.
He now is off his rocker saying it. Well, if I played...
Choke artists. That's what you both are. Yeah, I said it. You both are choke artists.
Losers, choke artists.
That's what you are. You choked against TCU. You choked against Oregon. You choked against Kentucky. Y'all choked against Duke. I can keep going.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. It doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to the Weekly Wager with Greg Matzik, Ben Brust, and Jen Latta.
If someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything, you take it.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
Are you ready to shake things up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee? All you gotta do is toss your rewards card into your favorite slots for drawing entries and a chance to be in the Roll for Riches game show. What's on the table? Oh, just $300K in cash and prizes. Play this March, and Thursday nights, you could get on a winning streak that, frankly, you deserve. Let it ride and roll for riches. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
So many of our youth carry unimaginable burdens. Anger, depression, even thoughts of suicide. At Rawhide Youth Services, we recognize their pain. We help them find hope and healing. For those that need a second chance at life, we refuse to give up on them. Please be a part of our life-saving work. When you donate your used vehicle to Rawhide, you're helping change the lives of countless youth in our communities. Go to rawhide.org/donate and help them realize a brighter future today.
There's only one store that gives you every possible choice in diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Elevate your game day gear or any outfit with official merchandise from the Milwaukee Bucks Pro Shop. From authentic jerseys to exclusive apparel and accessories, the Bucks Pro Shop has everything you need to showcase your fandom wherever you go. Cheer the deer to victory with authentic Milwaukee Bucks items. Visit us at the Bucks Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum or Bayshore Mall, or shop online at shop.bucks.com.
Hey, ready to sweeten your game? It's time for Quick Trip's Nature's Touch Ice Cream. Ooh, making moves like the starting lineup of a championship team. Whether you're gearing up for the big game, celebrating a win, or just looking for a sweet break in the action. Chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, and more. Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad pick. So why wait? Flavor doesn't scoop itself. Get your hands on your winning Nature's Touch Ice Cream flavor today. Only at Quick Trip.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Ashton Rotman with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Arrowhead boys wrestler Colin McDowell. The senior McDowell, part of Arrowhead's first team wrestling state final since 2011. Pins in both his quarterfinal and semifinal opponent matches before getting a Tech Fall victory in the WIAA team state title match last weekend against Kaukauna. McDowell, a 25-2 record this season, piling up a 150-24 career record for Arrowhead in his career. And it won't be the last time he wrestles at UW-Madison, as he is committed to the University of Wisconsin to wrestle there upon graduation. Congratulations to this week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, senior wrestler from Arrowhead, Colin McDowell.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Miss Polly side, come on over tonight.
and I think I'm I hope that's enough.
So, Kyle's Mr. It's good, it's all good. But last year, you were ecstatic.
Yeah, I mean, you got a running back who, at first I was like, well, Aaron Jones. And then after I had a little time to allow for my heart to break. Oh, that's
right.
Once my heart broke once I got past the heartbreak of Aaron Jones and Josh Jacobs being together and then not having Aaron Jones, I turned very quickly into a Josh Jacobs fan. And then on top of that, I loved the signing of Xavier McKinney. It was like, we see holes, we're going to fill them.
So did you feel more optimistic then than you do right now to be a contender?
I guess, forget free agency for a second. Is it the fact, that the Packers had won a playoff game that you were so excited? Is it the fact that, if we're being honest, they didn't beat as many good teams and now they're not making as splashy as a move as last year? Give me the dichotomy from year versus year.
Because last year, at the end of the year, the Green Bay Packers went on a fantastic run where they were able to fight their way into the playoffs after being 3-6, and they finished the season 9-8, and then they go on the road, become the first ever 7 seed to win a playoff game, right, against the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas, and then they competed against a team that eventually went on to go to the Super Bowl in the San Francisco 49ers on the road. That was a tight game. And so everything that the Packers showed us last year showed us that they were good and that they were looking to take the next step in 2024. Unfortunately, in 2024, it was a very disjointed season. Our quarterback in Jordan Love was not healthy throughout the season because if it wasn't one thing, it was another. He had multiple nicks and injuries that really held him back from being able to play to his full potential this season. And so we understood going into this offseason that this Green Bay Packer football team needed to fill holes. We basically stunk out in a playoff game against the Eagles, which left us a little hopeless in understanding the reality of the fact that what we saw in 2023, we saw great potential, but you continually need to work towards being a championship team. And the Green Bay Packers, for me in this offseason, they did not do that. So my level of optimism last year was because of they overperformed, they're going to grow, they're going to get better. The season came, and we still have the same questions we had going into the offseason of 2024. Who's going to be a number one wide receiver? Is Jordan Love going to be good enough to be a franchise quarterback? That's what we're still trying to figure out. I think he is, but we still need to see it on paper. Is the defense going to take a next step when it comes to the pass rush? We have not seen that. Jair Alexander, what's going to be his status? We are still talking about the same things that we talked about last year, and that's why I have some reservation on whether or not I want to be all in on talking about this team is ready for the Super Bowl. Now, until we make that big splash where we get a guy who can be a difference maker on the defensive line, until we find a receiver where we say, yep, that's the number one guy, nobody, and I mean nobody in Packer Nation, should be booking their trips to San Francisco next year, because you know what? Right now, I don't have much confidence that this team is one to put our money on for going to the Super Bowl.
Well, and you said one thing about the team getting better, right? It was almost this assumption that from last year, then you add Jacobs, you add McKinney, that there was an assumption that everyone would just take a step forward. You just assumed growth. I think that's where Goody and the construction of this team is a little bit flawed, right? Because you look at these young receivers, could be the D-line, it could be linebackers, pick your position, even Jordan Love. You just assume they're just going to get better. That's a faulty assumption. I mean, these guys are already top-level guys. Maybe they've hit their ceiling. Maybe that's the best they can do. So you can't just go into any given year assuming growth, which concerns me about the wide receiver room. Because you can't just assume.
Adam chimes in on the Carbless Talking text line. Real question is, can our wide receivers catch this year?
That's a great question. They're going to have to.
We didn't have that question last year going to the offseason. Our question was, who's going to take the next step? So that is a problem.
That is we're going from who's going to emerge to can they catch passes.
That's a step back.
That is an issue, right? And then talking about the pass rush, we're still talking about LVN, y'all. Last year, we were talking about how LVN was a rookie and maybe he needs to, year two, he's going to take the next step. We are still talking about that. We're still talking about Rashawn Gary. The year before was, he's coming off ACL injury. Well, what's the excuse now? We're still talking about Kenny Clark being disruptive. We're just missing all this. And so that's where my biggest issue is.
What I can tell you is no matter what you're feeling, you're going to feel amazing when you go into your Pick and Save and Metro Market stores. Because you have through March 12th. Through the 18th. To get your BOGO, Kyle. Get your BOGO on.
I love a good buy one, get one.
Love a BOGO.
March 12th through the 18th. That is something to scream about. Stop and get your Screamin' Sicilian Originals or Thin and Crispies. Those Thin and Crispies are absolutely delicious. As well as, obviously, I'm an OG guy. Incredible buy one, get one Sicilian, Screamin' Sicilian favorites. Hurry while it lasts. That's March 12th through the 18th at your local Pick and Save and Metro Market stores. Taste what all that screaming is about. Jim, Matt, and Molly are up next in Madison. You got Corey and Wally in Beaver Dam. And, of course, we're right here on 94.5 ESPN, streaming on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. I guess at this point, I want to know, is there anything that Goody can do in the draft or free agency to make you feel like this is a championship team? Let me know. 800-990-3776, the Carbless Talking text line. We're back in 2 minutes.
Sell out with me, oh yeah.
Northbound on 43, backing up out of the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. On the southbound side, we've got some heavy traffic south of Capitol Drive down past Burleigh. And then back on the brakes from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise. Westbound 94, watch for delays from 20th Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. On the eastbound side, we got some backups from about 84th Street to Hawley Road, and then from Mitchell Boulevard to 35th. And southbound 41, backing up from just south of Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner, dedicated to helping businesses do business better. Visit jamesimaging.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 32. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 45 at the lake, 53 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hurt by a truck? Call Gruberg offices. One call, that's all.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. Kyle Brust and Nortman. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
We them boys. Holla, we them boys. Holla, holla, holla. We making noise. Holla. Holla, 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 holla.
It's the 4-1-4 at 4 on KBN with your boy Tory Low. Oh, wow.
I love the cadence.
The cadence is so different than Kyle.
You know what it is? I think Tory is so used to being so
smooth.
Like he's not like a yeller. He's like a direct, like you know, he can do the chants, stop the violence. Like he's good with stuff like that. But that 4-1-4 hour at 4, that's not him being him.
Yeah.
Like Tory Low is super
I think that I do it so smooth that it's got its own groove to it.
So maybe we should go with like, hey, hey, ho, ho. It's the 4-1-4 hour at 4.
Hey, hey, hey.
Okay.
Ho, ho.
It's the 4-1-4 hour at 4.
We got to take out a syllable.
We got to fix it.
Yeah.
I just want the Kyle version. I just want the Kyle version.
It's okay.
Wow. Look at that. If Ben wants me, that means it's a big deal.
Yeah,
right?
It is. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman.
Wants the Kyle version.
Alex Stroh running the show.
That'd be horrible.
It was that bad that I was like, I need you, Kyle. I need you. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talking text line. This is more. See us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. And joining us now is the world's largest Packer fan, Tory Low.
Hey, what's happening there?
So, Tory, you came over to my desk, and, you know, maybe just year over year, you were expecting, you know, something that we saw last year, Xavier McKinney.
Yes.
Big signing, big name. You have Josh Jacobs.
Pow!
Big signing, big name.
Pow!
And none of these names, when I said Aaron Banks, you weren't like, oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
You weren't like,
I was, you know.
Were you saying,
What was the Tory Low reaction?
Hey. What?
Hey.
What?
You know, kind of a grimacing
what? Like, okay, like, all right. It's solid.
I forgot about the ooh.
We got to get something in here that's going to make you go, ooh, ooh. And I didn't get that.
So the reason why I bring that up is because I feel like I've been doing Tory Low Tuesdays for what? It's got to be, how long have we been in these offices?
A little over 3 years, right?
Yeah, about 3 years.
And it feels like for 3 years, Tory's not wrong in what he said about one thing specifically. We need a game wrecker.
Yeah. Yes, we do.
And it's been 3 years of like, who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? And there's not one. And there's not one on the roster. There's not one coming in for free agency. And if they draft one,
it'll be
a 23rd overall pick. And they had a stab 2 years ago at the 13th overall pick and took Lucas Van Ness. I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I'm feeling pretty down. If we're going to be honest,
can we
have an honesty hour?
Welcome.
This is I'm in a downer spot as it pertains to the Green Bay Packers. Are they going to be bad? No. Are they going to win a championship? No. Are they going to be somewhere in the middle? Yes. And that just feels like I just did that. I feel like I'm in the same place that I was. They're going to win 9 to 12 games, somewhere in that range. And they're not going to have a deep enough, competitive enough roster, a front four on the defensive line that is disruptive enough playmakers on the offensive side of the football, no matter how much they protect Jordan Love, to be able to win 4 playoff games if they are not a 1 or 2 seed. That's how I'm feeling right now. And if you disagree, I'd love to hear why. Because I feel like we're just masking all of our emotions right now into trying to think to ourselves that what the Packers did was enough to propel them to be better than the teams ahead of them in the NFC right now. And I think I just reached my point of getting it off my chest.
Good. Get it off your chest.
Do you agree or disagree with
no,
me?
You're not satisfied. That's what it comes down to, is that we are seeing this and we see the signings and we want to be smart about it, right? Nobody wants to be an idiot or be too emotional. And we can't get mad over offensive linemen, right? Like, we're not going to get mad about protecting Jordan Love. We asked for a corner. It might not be the guy we want. It might be a guy that they think has potential to grow. Okay, that's fine. But we're still just not satisfied, right? We still got a hunger in our tummy for something more. And I think that's where we all feel at this moment. And most Packers fans can applaud the signings, but still say, we need more. We want a guy that can come in and make an impact to this football team. And Troy, you talked about a game record. That still does not exist on this roster. And we know how this story is going to end if we don't find ourselves somebody who can be a game record.
And the thing is, you got to go, do you just want a winning season, or do you want to challenge for the championship? I think that we as Packer fans, we want the Super Bowl. It's always Super Bowl or bust. And when I look at the options that were selected, Aaron Banks, Nate Hobbs, I think they're solid. I think they're solid pieces, but we want more. We're hoping that the Packers have more for us when it comes to adding to this team that we feel that the nucleus is capable of challenging for a Super Bowl. But we are missing a few pieces. Is Jair Alexander out the door? I mean,
likely.
They're saying
no one's calling Goody and giving him something good enough that he's still on the roster to be traded. But we all know that if he stays, it doesn't make sense for him to stay based off how unhappy he seems in Green Bay. Just cut him. What are we doing? I'm just so confused right now.
With that. I'm confused. See, that's why I can't get excited, because
are they sticking it to him? If they are, that's petty. Move on.
Yeah, because his options are starting to deplete quickly because he'd prefer to be on free agent. To me, with all these moves with the Green Bay Packers, it's just so rinse, repeat with their system, right? I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, even every once in a while, you said Chewy was talking about, Ron Wolf would go get a superstar. Well, yeah, and there would be moments where superstars would be on the team. Those would usually be the Super Bowl years.
But
generally speaking, it is a thoughtful, conservative, keep the wheel spinning, stay relevant, and quarterback, go out there and play Hall of Fame level. Let that mask what is, generally speaking, usually just a good roster. And Goody's doing the same thing now. I mean, when you look at any given Super Bowl contender, winner, whatever, it is layer after layer, level after level of dudes. And the Packers don't have that, and I can't remember the last time they had that.
If the Packers, to me, was serious about winning the title.
You're right.
If they wanted to win the title, they got to get what we call a bad, I don't know if you got to say it, but a bad
man on
the end. You got to have that. And many times when you don't have that, you struggle with the fight up front. And the Packers have the secondary. We got some problems in the secondary. We can correct those. But on the front lines, on the defensive front, I think that's where that person has to be.
Yep.
And if we miss an opportunity this offseason to get somebody in there to do that, we may repeat the same thing we saw last year with a decent regular season record, but trouble in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, and Dave from Aaron chimes in, and he just says, Benny, you are very correct unless something clicks on that defensive line and if the wide receivers don't drop as many passes. But, again, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I feel as if with the way the roster is constructed, how am I supposed to sit here and talk about the wide receivers when Christian Watson's not going to likely be a big asset coming off of an ACL injury? Who knows when he'll even be back? The rest of the guys, we've had the ups and the downs. It's like if you are looking to win a championship, there needs to be urgency to win a championship. And so now what I'm doing in my head right now is I'm just saying Goody must be thinking about not this year, but next year to do something big, to go for a Super Bowl. Because there was some stuff out there. He didn't even call Devontae, right? That's fine. Didn't fit his mold. Then there better be something like a defensive end, an edge rusher.
Right.
We know that's a need. They can't get home with 4. Yes. And with their 23rd pick in the draft, they're not going to find Micah Parsons or Myles Garrett there.
Well, that's what's frustrating, right? At the Combine, that was literally 2 weeks ago. Goody said, we need to get home with 4. It's not good enough what we're doing right now. So change something, not just the defensive line coach, personnel. It's the guys that actually play the position. Because you look all around the NFL, whether it be O-line or D-line, you have to win in the trenches. And I look at these other teams like the Detroit Lions, who are kind of in the Eagles, but the class of the NFC, and that's where they invest. They take that seriously, and they have dudes that can pressure with 4. And I just don't understand how, if it's the Green Bay Packers, if you're running a business, if it's whatever it is, if you do not address your flaws, I don't know how you can expect to improve.
As of right now, we just all have to come to the conclusion. Again, this is based off where we're at today. Goody is just not going for it. He's not going.
That's the 24-hour conclusion right now.
So the championship window is not. It's not open.
It clearly,
he thinks it's another year away.
But in his mind, he's put together a roster that will make the playoffs and that will
job safety
project them, and hopefully they win some games and they can build confidence.
Let's see where they're at. Right, that's what he's trying to do. Let's play it out. Let's see where they're at. Let's give it 1 more year. Let's see if Devontae Wyatt is going to step up. Let's see if Quay Walker is going to earn it here. Let's see which receiver is going to emerge. We're still playing the let's see game. Year 3, 4, and 5 for these guys. At what point are we going to stop saying, let's see it, and we're going to say, you need to perform on this damn football field? That's what we need. I'm sick of that. I'm sick of seeing other teams find guys in their first and second year pop, but I'm still talking about Lucas Van Ness. I'm still talking about Wyatt. I'm still talking about Walker. We need to stop doing all this talking. I want more Edgerrin Coopers. I want more Evan Williams. That's what we need, especially when you're talking about first-round talent.
Well, I'll say this. A lot of these contracts of these players are coming up.
They are.
And so we're going to have a space where, okay, who leaves and who actually stays?
But you ain't got guys you want to keep. That's the thing.
The you look at the Eagles and you start to get concerned because you say, we got too many guys. Right. I don't know how we're going to pay them all.
And we got to load it. We load it with talent.
But the Packers, I think you look at it and say, who do we want to keep? They don't have the same problem that the Lions and the Eagles have, where it's we got too many guys, we can't pay them all.
Tory,
you're searching for who you're going to pay for the Packers.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Kyle Brust and Nortman with you. Alex Strofer on the show, joined with Tory Low on a Tory Low Tuesday. And on the Carbless Talking text line, 800-990-3776. Listen more. I'm going back, and I'm going back in time. You know what I never was talking about with Greg Scalzo prior to the show? And what I never heard on, maybe a little bit more on Wildy and Tauscher. We stayed, very meaty in terms of what the Packers needed to win a Super Bowl. And obviously we're consumed by one player, Aaron Rodgers. He played so well that they kept extending the guy. Even if they didn't want him in the building, he's playing so well they had to extend the guy. Corey chimes in. I don't know if we're ready for this, but I think it's a thought-provoking point. Are we ready to acknowledge that the Packer way only works if you have a Hall of Fame quarterback? You think any of us would be caring as much about free agency if we knew that Jordan Love was the guy, like the stud guy? Because we don't know if he is or isn't. We know he's got flashes. But if he was that guy, I don't think we're like, I think we're like, okay, good. Protect him. That makes sense. We got a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. I'm glad we got some more offensive line depth. Top 10 defense last year, we've always said, hey, if Aaron Rodgers had a top 10 defense, he could win a Super Bowl. So, like, last year they had a top 10 defense. But yet, we're in the conversation right now saying, well, this isn't good enough with the edge and the wide receiver. You know why? Because we don't know if Jordan Love is that dude yet.
Well, I mean, you're also talking about when you look at what Aaron Rodgers had. Like, Aaron Rodgers, let's not get it twisted. Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl with really good wide receivers, right? Like, he didn't trot out guys that were unknown. He had multiple guys that were really good wide receivers. He had good tight ends. Like, he had a really good football team around him. Now, Brett Favre, on the other hand, he might have had like a Antonio Freeman type, and I guess Chewy. He was on that roster as well. But that defense had multiple Hall of Famers. Reggie White is a Hall of Famer.
Andre Rice.
He had one of the great, and then you had the Howard returning the kicks. Desmond Howard, as Brad
who
said,
was the MVP.
Desmond Howard,
and then on top of that, Leroy Butler on that defense. So you had Hall of Fame players on that roster. Right now, this Green Bay Packer football team, beyond the quarterback position, we don't know if we have Hall of Fame guys on this roster right now, and that is a problem.
Hey.
Are we on a new level, Tory? Or are we on the same level?
That's what we discussing today.
Are we on the new level or are we on the same level?
Right now, I think that we got some solid players, but
the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Stay the same. So I'm hoping that we can pull something out. I don't know. Are we on a new level? I don't think so.
Well, your car will be on a new level if you listen to Brad Nortman.
Oh, it sure will be, because, guys, I mean, it is beautiful out there. Finally, you can get rid of the salt, the grime, the sleet, all the things that you kind of want to get off your car. The sun's shining. Spring is on its way. That is the wonderful reason to go get your car washed at Tsunami Express Car Wash. I mean, you want to be driving with the sun reflecting on it. I know my car, it's a 9-year-old car, but when I take it through Tsunami Express Car Wash and go out on the other side, it feels like I just drove it off the lot, and I see heads turning, being like, oh man, that car is beautiful. Thank you to Tsunami Express Car Wash for making me look beautiful. But not only that, we all know St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner. So some lucky deals for you, KBN Nation. March 10th through the 17th, Tsunami Express is offering a lucky deal in March. New customers can get their first wash of any membership for just $10. That's to be on-site only, though. $10 for new memberships online or on-site. Plus, 5 lucky members will win a $1 membership for April. It's the perfect time to get your car sparkling clean and save big. So don't wait. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Go there today. Take advantage of this lucky deal while it lasts, and you can experience why Tsunami Express always delivers to wash, chill, repeat, and make your car look beautiful.
I need you couch GMs right now. Is there anything Goody can do to convince you that this team can win a championship?
Oh, I love couch
in 2025. 800-990-3776. Carlos talking text line. We're back next.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
He was the lead in the girls softball movie, the Bernstein Bears. What's it called?
800
what? Tom Hanks, that movie. There's no crying in baseball. What was it?
That was A League of Their Own.
Yeah. Not Bad News Bears.
The Bernstein Bears, like the book.
Bernstein Bears, bro. You're done.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Well, we got a new crash on 41 northbound, just north of North Avenue. The right shoulder is blocked, so give yourself a little bit of extra time to get through there. Southbound side is going to be slow from Silver Spring all the way down to Capitol Drive. Northbound 43, backing up from Kilbourne all the way up to Keith. The southbound side, really only seeing delays going through the Marquette onto 4394. And then on westbound 94, got some backups from 25th Street all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 32. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 45 at the lake, 53 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
It doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week, we've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to The Weekly Wager with Greg Matzik, Ben Brust, and Jen Latta.
If someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything, you take it.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
Julie Granger is the president of Junior Achievement of Wisconsin. Julie, your organization has business technology from James Imaging Systems. Yet today, please tell us about Junior Achievement's unique mission.
Junior Achievement of Wisconsin has a mission of inspiring and preparing young people for success in a global economy. We serve students anywhere from kindergarten through 12th grade, and we just started serving young adults 18 to 25.
I understand financial literacy is also an important part of your mission.
Financial literacy is critical to the long-term success of every individual so that they can plan their futures and they can live their dreams.
To help turn those dreams into reality, how can everyone get involved?
We are looking for people who are willing to donate their time, treasure, and talent to the organization.
What's the first step?
The best way to reach us is through our website, wisconsin.ja.org.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is hosting another Scramble tournament with $1,000 in cash prizes available. Hey ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellison, and Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center invites you to play in a two-man scramble at TPC Sawgrass, all from their comfortable golf simulators. Grab a friend and sign up today at wisconsindoorgolfcenter.com. The tournament costs $120 per pairing and is happening now through March 31st. Your winter chance to play TPC Sawgrass awaits. wisconsindoorgolfcenter.com.
You love her twice as much today as the day you married her, right?
Welcome to Kessler's.
Drum roll, please.
Carbliss is here with refreshing new flavors. Introducing their Tropical Bliss Variety Pack. Let the summertime flavors of blood orange, watermelon, raspberry, and grapefruit whisk you away from the winter blues. New flavors, same great Carbliss perks. Every handcrafted cocktail still has 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and just 100 calories. Find the Tropical Bliss Variety Pack in store wherever Carbliss is sold and enjoy your winter passport to paradise. Grab a pack today and discover why Bliss is more with Carbliss.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Don chimes in on the Carbliss talking text line 800-990-3776. We used to have great receivers. Goody did not handle the handover to the new guys well. He wanted Devontae back. There's no Devontae. Would have been great. We discussed it. Old T, Mark Tauscher was in on it. Jason Wilde was in on it. I think all four of us collectively were on it, but we're not the general manager of the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, it's a failure on Goody to not. I mean, it's one thing to.
He didn't even call.
No,
it's crazy.
I'm upset about not calling, but the failure to me beyond this free agency is it is his job based off the pedigree, right? Because we have a way we do things. We've been doing it for 35 years here for the Green Bay Packers. And so with that, what we've been doing is we find wide receivers. And Goody, you've had multiple opportunities, multiple seasons since Devontae Adams has left. You have not found a new Devontae Adams, and that is on you. That should be priority number one, to go and find a wide receiver number one for this Green Bay Packer team. And it obviously is going to come through the draft unless some miracle trade pops up. But that should be his priority, because right now, spinning the block, or I should say running it back with these guys, if we do it, fine. But it does not mean that you have a guy in that locker room at receiver who can help you get over the top. And that's what you have to find. It's a guy that can be a number one.
Like, is there a plan to be great? I just like, is that the plan? Is Goody saying every year, my plan is that the Green Bay Packers are great in this upcoming season?
So
I just don't see it.
Nope. It's the same. Here's another thing to think about that I want to address. And Joseph chimes in, until the draft is done, we'll not be able to know if Goody did enough. The draft isn't going to... I'm not here right now in this moment to be thinking about 26 and 27. After going to the playoffs in back-to-back years, I'm thinking about 25. And
you
so
should be.
When I hear the draft, You can like Edgerrin Cooper was great last year. He was a great rookie, defensive rookie of the week and NFC Player of the Week, not rookie,
Twice.
NFC Player of the Week twice. He still wasn't enough. And can you get more guys like that? Yeah, but is that going to be enough to put like if you get like 2 rookie studs? Is that going to put this team over the talent of all these other teams that have like guys that have done it professionally?
Well, 2 rookie studs, if they're studs, when I say rookie studs, if they're difference maker, if you got a guy like Edgerrin Cooper who is better than Edgerrin Cooper, if you can get a guy who can be a number 1 wide receiver and you can find a guy that can get double digit sacks,
these are things that like you can't assume that are going to happen based off. That's what I'm saying. He's saying until the draft is done, and then you get another round of cuts that usually have to after the draft. And yes, Mark Tauscher mentioned or Jason Wilde yesterday. Yeah, Devondre Campbell. He was a 1 for $2 million guy. He played well that season. Then they paid him. So great. It was a good pickup. Rasul Douglas. Yes. He was great for us that he traded him. But, like, those type of players aren't going to make you a championship-level team if you don't have – those are guys you want to add to your roster that's already good or close to great to help make you great, like to add more depth, to add more. Right now we're looking at those guys to fill spots and see what they can do. I'm done with trying to see what guys can do. We've been asking to see what guys can do over the last 3 years, and I feel like we're doing the same thing this year, waiting to see if the wide receiver group, again, can take a next step, waiting to see if the defensive line that are all of Goody's guys are as good as he thinks he is. I'm just getting frustrated because he went to the playoffs 2 years in a row, which was awesome to do after not making the playoffs with Aaron Rodgers. Tip of the cap. But we can't just tip the cap to the playoffs and having a good roster every year. Otherwise, you're not going to get to a championship where you're now reaching a 15-plus year drought, longer than it was in between the last 2 Super Bowls. So the urgency was spoken about by Goody. But now I'm starting to think he was just talking about the players. Now I'm thinking that message was just we need to have the urgency to win a championship. And if we go back, and Strofe, I'd actually like to listen to that audio. I don't care if we have it for this segment. Next would work as well. In his postseason presser, it was the last question asked by Jason Wilde about, how he looks at this season, how he looks ahead. He's like, we need to have the urgency to win championships. I want to listen again now if I was fooling myself and thinking he was thinking internally about himself. Because now I'm starting to think he thinks he's got the roster that can do it.
Well, now that we have the benefit of hindsight, it certainly seems like he was pointing the finger at other people. Because when we reach this level of free agency, you're mostly filling depth, right? You're not really filling impact starters. And when you go to the draft, there's a difference between an NFL rookie stud and just an NFL stud. If you look at teams that win the Super Bowls, that contend for the Super Bowls, they're littered with all pro guys, littered with Pro Bowl guys. The expectation is you're not going to have a rookie come in here and be all pro, be one of the best in the entire NFL at their position. It's just not realistic. You can't anticipate it. So can he get a guy in round 1 and round 2, maybe to be a wide receiver 1, maybe to wreak havoc on the D line? Yeah, he could maybe do that. But we need those guys to be like a top 10 wide receiver, a top 8 rusher. Like that is what is characteristic of an NFL team. So he's running out of ways to make this team NFL Super Bowl standard. Now they're a good team. They're playoff standard. I think that's just what's so frustrating is I just don't see a good realistic path to stacking all pros on your team with the current guys you got and the limited options that are out there.
I want to hear from Goody. I want to dissect it. Strofe said he had it. Goody after the season addressing what this team needs to do.
You always have some disappointments in the year. I think for me, the thing that's been on my mind, I think as we've concluded this season, is we need to continue to ramp up our sense of urgency. These opportunities don't come. The life of a player in the National Football League is not very long. We got a bunch of good guys in that locker room. We got a bunch of talented guys in that locker room, and I think it's time that we start competing for championships, right? And I think they're ready. I think they're, like I said, I think they are wired right. I think that group is the kind of guys that can do that. But at the end of the day, you got to go do it. And we fell short in some areas this year that, like they always are every year, a little frustrating. But at the same time, I didn't think they blinked. And so I'm excited about the group, but the sense of urgency, not getting complacent. some of these guys have now proven themselves to be NFL football players and have attained that. But what's out there for us as a team that we're willing to commit to and sacrifice for, and so that's kind of the, if I'm looking at one thing, that'd be it.
Thank you, guys. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Kyle Brust and Nortman, 94.5 ESPN. That was Brian Gutekunst after the season.
I got a lot of issues with that.
We need to ramp up the urgency. We have talented guys. They are ready. They are wired right. I'm excited about the group. It's about they and thems. And when he says we, he's talking about the team, not his team building.
They got to go out there and do it. That group, these guys, they're talented. It's in the room. The life of a player now is short. He's not talking about the life of a GM in the sense of urgency as a GM. I think Goody thinks his plan is plenty to get this team to a Super Bowl.
He believes in his guys.
I think
he made that very clear.
I think he believes that.
When I look at this roster as well, and I have a lot, the life of an NFL player is short. If you know that and you understand that, then why aren't you trying to maximize the life of the team that you have, the roster that you have, right? You have a football team that is close, right? They're not there, but they're close. But you aren't maximizing that because you're not trying to bring more guys in that could be impactful day one. Again, offensive line is an important position, but the offensive line helps you score touchdowns. They ain't scoring the touchdowns. That's just not how it works. And so when we think about complacency, he's being very complacent. Because he's not going out and adding people. When you talk about Rashawn Gary, Kingsley Enagbare, Lucas Van Ness, Brenton Cox, and Aaron Mosby, those are your defensive ends? Those are your defensive ends. Listen, close this laptops and shut it down because we ain't doing nothing this season at all. You know why? Because this team their defensive line is mid. It is mid. Rashawn Gary is he's a above average football player, but he ain't great. Right? A Kingsley Enagbare, he's a good dude, but he should be a dude that should be a rotational guy that pops. He should be your number 3. He shouldn't be a guy you're depending on. Lucas Van Ness hasn't popped. He hasn't lived up to expectations, and I don't think he is. And what is the excuse going to be next year when we're having the same conversation that we're having?
I drafted this guy. I think he's ready. He's wired right. I think
potential.
He literally it's doing the same thing over and over again. We're talking about Lucas Van Ness is now Devontae Wyatt. That's what it is. It's just a rotation of guys, right? We just keep missing. And Kenny Clark was a bad re-signing. Is Kenny Clark serviceable? Yes, but we don't need to be paying a serviceable guy at the age of 30. What are we doing?
And that's what hurts, right? Because it's not that the D-line is not. It's not just that they're mid. It's that they have been invested in like they're elite. 3 first round draft picks, 20+% of the cap. It should be your best unit on the team, and it's our biggest concern on the team.
It is. It's the biggest hole, the gap. Like we just see that this defensive line is going to be problematic. Yes, they were top 10 in sacks, but guess what? Where were those sacks when you needed them? Non-existent.
Well, take your calls. I see the calls. I see the text. 800-990-3776. That Goody sound just put me in a really bad mood, especially after a day and a half of free agency. What are you going to do? Stop putting on the players, dude. What are you going to do to help them win a championship? It's not all on them. Matt LaFleur can only do so much with what he's given. I might be team Matt LaFleur gets a pass no matter what this year based off what Goody does the rest of the way. Next. Wait, first. Kyle, you're going to tell us about windows.
You know what? I'm not happy about the Green Bay Packers championship window right now. Goody got me bad. But you know what happened this morning? I was at the house, and I said, we turned off, because it was warm yesterday. We turned off the AC last night, and then, it got a little cold. It was about 62 degrees in the house, 63 degrees in the house. I said, baby girl, come here. Let's fill this window. Oh, my gosh, this room feels so cozy and warm. I want you to have that same realization that if you have windows that are bad, it is causing for your house to be less energy efficient. It's causing for your house to be cold. I want you to be able to wake up in the morning and be just like me and say, boy, I do love my windows. And you can do that with Universal Windows Direct right now. And with it being tax season, they have a great deal for you. You buy 2 windows, get 2 free right now. You can buy 10 windows and get 10 free as well. Upgrading your home could not be easier than right now with Universal Windows Direct, who is also offering pay 0 interest until 2030. Yes, that's right. No interest for the next 6 years, making it easier than ever to afford the quality windows your home needs. But wait, there is more, KBN Nation. This month only, Universal Windows Direct is giving you an extra $500 off your home improvement project. Whether you need a few windows or a full home project, this bonus savings makes you save right now. It's a perfect time. So why wait? Take advantage now. Call them today at 414-410-2000 or visit universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free in-home estimate. And for the last windows you'll ever need, go to uwd.com. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Your calls, your text on the Carbless Talk and Text line next.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
Oh, no, not Coach Booty. People said yes, good riddance. He didn't do enough.
Not Coach Bud, but Coach Booty.
They call him Booty, Bud? Did
they call him
Coach
Booty?
Bud. You know when I said Booty.
Only his friends call him
when
Booty.
I said,
on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Northbound on 41. Got an accident. This is just before you get to Burleigh. The right lane is blocked, so pretty hefty delays all the way back past Watertown Plank Road. Southbound 43, delays from Appleton Avenue all the way to just past Capitol Drive. Northbound 43, backing up from Kilbourne all the way to Keefe. Southbound starting to get a bit heavy from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way down to the KK River Crossing. And westbound 94, got some backups out of the Marquette all the way to Hawley Road. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 32. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 45 at the lake, 53 inland. Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Join the two-man scramble tournament and play TPC Sawgrass for a chance to win cash through the 31st. Sign up at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra. Superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey, Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at Johnny's Poorhouse, Pleasant Prairie, Maxwell's in Cedarburg, Who's on 3rd Milwaukee, Romine's High Pockets, Milwaukee, and Camp Bar, Wauwatosa. Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Joint pain can take your life away. That's right. The things you love to do, you can't do it anymore because you just can't move without that pain. But QC Kinetics is here to treat it with their advanced regenerative treatments. That's right. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. QC Kinetics is on the cutting edge of technology for regenerative medicine, using things that I could only see with my own two eyes and could see it, then believe it. Platelets, plasma, PRP, so many different things that they can utilize to put yourself on a personalized plan back to full active living and a pain-free life. Nobody likes living with joint pain. I mean, you're probably feeling those joints in your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your back, wherever it is, right now as I'm talking. That is a sign that QC Kinetics is ready to answer your call. It's a free consultation after all, so you might as well give them a call. Tell them we sent you. Tell them that you heard that QC Kinetics has an answer to a pain-free life. They will answer that call. Give them a call today for your free consultation at 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Kyle Brust and Nortman with you till 5 o'clock. Strophy running the show. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talk and Text line. What up, Andy in Grafton?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Good to have you.
I love that energy out there in the Graft, in the G-Town. I guess
so I have 2 points, maybe 3 points.
Keep it tight.
So if you go back to the Philadelphia Green Bay Packer playoff game, what happened that ultimately decided that game?
Keyshawn Nixon.
Had what? We had 3 offensive linemen not playing at the end of the game, right?
For sure.
So when every team in this offseason after Philadelphia dominated the Super Bowl, which we actually played Philadelphia better than any other team, maybe the Rams, but everybody was talking about, you need to be able to rush with 4. You need to be able to rush with 4. So every team in the offseason was going to go after the same limited guys that hit the market. So what was that going to do? That was going to drive the price to the point where now Myles Garrett is getting $40 million.
This is Kyle
Brust.
Well,
that's just an accident, Andy. Strofe wasn't even by the computer.
He didn't like what you were doing, huh?
So instead of us overpaying for a subpar Leonard Floyd or Von Miller or Joey Bosa, we were like, hey, well, why don't we protect our quarterback? Because ultimately, if we're able to protect our quarterback, you know what that also does? It gives us a really good offensive line to block for Josh Jacobs, who turns out to be probably our best player on offense.
What about receivers, though, Andy?
Yeah, and this sense of urgency. Let's just say this. DK Metcalf had similar stats to our third-string wide receiver. So to think that,
you're
going to somehow...
we looked up his 6 years. Nobody came close to what DK has done.
6 years? Let's just go back to last year.
He had 900 yards last year. What are we talking about? He would have led the Green Bay Packers in receiving.
660 yards and 5 touchdowns last season?
That's not correct.
No, he had 900 yards. I think you're looking at the wrong person. DK, every single year he's been in the NFL, he's had 900 yards.
Over 850 yards every year.
992 last year, 5 touchdowns, 66 receptions.
5 touchdowns.
All right, well, Andy, your points are taken, and I hear you there. But here's what I'm going to say, and I get your point. This is not a don't sign a guard, don't solidify depth at the offensive line. Here's what I'll say about Aaron Banks. All I'm seeing right now, even from Packers Twitter, that live the green and gold. Like, he's big, he's strong, he fits the, he was in the 49ers system. You got to be able to move and run block. Pass block, he wasn't very consistent. You paid him a lot of money. He's got to be good, and he's got to be good right away. My point is the lack of movement. Even you mentioned Leonard Floyd, $9 million for a year. Think about how much we're paying Kenny Clark and what we're paying Rashawn Gary.
Oh, don't even get me started.
So, when I see Jonathan Allen, Leonard Floyd, Hargrove, DJ Reed, Josh Sweat went for the same amount as our boy Aaron Banks did.
He did.
Doesn't mean you didn't have to. You could have. I know you got the best guard in the market. You still could have built through the draft and depth at the offensive line. You still could have went and got an offensive lineman even if it wasn't Aaron Banks. The thing to me is, if he is not going to get guys to bolster up the defensive line, he's telling me that they're not ready to win a championship this year. That's what he's telling me. I'm not disagreeing that it is an absolutely good move to bolster up the offensive line based off what the Eagles show that they could do. But you can stop the run by getting the offensive line better, but you still haven't addressed major needs. Getting home with 4. You lose TJ Slayton, a good interior piece, not great, but you could have put somebody in there to say, hey, you know what? We feel good about the direction of this team. We like the guys we have, but we need to add. And if we want to talk about pricing and cap space, it always figures itself out. They're top 15 in cap space. There's teams that are signing guys, and guess what? They're going to figure out. They're going to restructure contracts. That's what Russ Ball does. That's what he does. And so my frustration is not who they sign, but how they went about and how much money they gave him and how they didn't build around the rest of the team.
It doesn't seem like they're addressing lethal weaknesses, right? There's no problem with signing a guard. He's going to be a starter. We love offensive line. We love protection and running the football. No problems there. You need a cornerback, so you go get a guy that you think will support your system. Great. To not address D-line at all, to not address wide receiver at all, when going into the offseason, those were your clear biggest needs. I don't know another team in the NFL that does that just has these glaring needs that are preventing them from being great, and you don't address them whatsoever. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
These are back-to-back. It's all nice words from Goody, nothing more, when we played his postseason press conference. Last question. Jordan is entering his 3rd year, maybe his prime, and Goody has failed to match him with great weapons. 1 minute later, Mark. The thing I find funny is Brett had Sterling Sharp when he played right away. Rodgers had Jennings going to season 3, and Love has no one. Good has failed in getting Love a number 1 reliable target like his predecessors.
Yeah, and that's the biggest issue.
That's just a fact.
And again, it sounds good to pave ways and holes for Josh Jacobs, but again, man, this is a passing league. Like, the running the football is important. It definitely is. But you need to have a quarterback that can be able to throw the football. The Philadelphia Eagles were built different, right? They had a quarterback that could run, and they had a running back that was fantastic. But on top of that, they had 2 very, very good wide receivers as well. The Green Bay Packers don't have that. Like, I just don't understand. Again, I hear what a lot of people are saying, and my frustration just isn't with the signing. My frustration is that we need more, right? As Tory Low said when he joined us earlier today, we make the playoffs. We win football games. We've been doing that for literally the last 14 years. The Packers are in the playoffs more often than not, right? But unfortunately, we're not in the Super Bowl, and that's what has to change, and Goody did not do enough to change that going into next year so far.
Can't disagree with you there, Kyle. What I've learned today is I've been making it further, right? I've been working really hard. Props to me. Give me a cool strofe. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy in the morning. Cool. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Cool. Good job, Ben.
But I got to take some time to enjoy life. My brother's in town. He said he got clearance from his wife to come over and see our daughter.
Oh, that's great.
So I'm going to have a Michelob Ultra and relax. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. Enjoy Michelob Ultra at Maddie's Bar and Grill, Papa's Stash, great bar name, Tavern on 6, Joe Cat's Pub, and Maxwell's. Michelob Ultra is a proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks. It's only worth it if you enjoy it, and that is the thing that I need to remember. I got to sit back, relax, and enjoy it responsibly. Professor Big Daddy J.A. John Anderson of ESPN and is a Missouri Tiger communications professor, will join us next. We'll see if he echoes our feelings.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
If I was as tall and as talented as you, if I could shoot as well as you could, both them teams would have won. Because you know what? You did a fake punch, you said, in the Rose Bowl?
Yeah.
And I would have did fake point. I would have took it to the house. I would have scored a dang touchdown.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some... Why are you throwing... I don't want...
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
How would you like to own a jewelry store?
Kessler's Diamonds is an employee-owned company.
And Kessler's is growing. Are you the kind of person we're looking for?
Does it make you happy to make other people happy?
Are you a problem solver?
Would you like to wake up every morning knowing that you're going to help a lot of people find joy today?
Kessler's Diamonds is people serving people.
Keep in mind that Kessler's is owned by its employees. So let me ask you this. Are you a good enough leader that you can be an owner who leads other owners?
Don't worry, you don't have to know about diamonds. We can teach you about diamonds. But the people we're looking for aren't looking for a job.
Did someone pop into your head just now?
Do you think you might know who we're looking for?
Give that person a call.
Send them an email.
Tell them to walk into Kessler's Diamonds and say to the person who greets them,
I think I want to work here.
Welcome to Kessler's.
A fantastic place to buy jewelry and a wonderful place to work.
For the store nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Being a Pella consultant means helping people build their dreams.
Customers really appreciate just how prepared we are. All the samples, the videos, pictures.
We are with you from start to finish. You literally have a friend from beginning to end and beyond with your project.
Our Pella team simplifies the process, taking time to listen and find the right solution for you. And right now, get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 3/31/2025.
Julie Granger is the president of Junior Achievement of Wisconsin. Julie, your organization has business technology from James Imaging Systems. Yet today, please tell us about Junior Achievement's unique mission.
Junior Achievement of Wisconsin has a mission of inspiring and preparing young people for success in a global economy. We serve students anywhere from kindergarten through 12th grade, and we just started serving young adults 18 to 25.
I understand financial literacy is also an important part of your mission.
Financial literacy is critical to the long-term success of every individual so that they can plan their futures and they can live their dreams.
To help turn those dreams into reality, how can everyone get involved?
We are looking for people who are willing to donate their time, treasure, and talent to the organization.
What's the first step?
The best way to reach us is through our website, wisconsin.ja.org.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
New treatments for joint pain are here. By now you've heard about regenerative medicine. If you're wondering if you're a good candidate, answer these questions. First, does chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints keep you from doing the things you enjoy? Golfing, jogging, time with a family. Does it hurt doing the things you need to do? Like getting out of bed, sleeping, working, and walking. And finally, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? If you answered yes to any of those, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Learn about exciting advancements in regenerative treatments that can give you long-lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Get your free consultation today. Call QC Kinetics. That's QC Kinetics. Here's the phone number.
Call now, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Well, since Strofe scared John Anderson away, he texted him like 8 times in a row with no response. Doesn't know how to take a hint.
Guy. Yeah.
Did he block? Are they delivering?
Well, the previous correspondence we had prior to this was him calling me a tall praying mantis because of my combine video.
Wow.
So he may have blocked my contact.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be known as knowing you after your 3-cone combine drill. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Norton with Strophy running the show. All right, we didn't do Becoming Relevant. You didn't book John Anderson, so it's your segment.
Strophy, what do you want to do?
Looking at you, pal.
Silence is not good.
Hey, Mr. Irrelevant, it's time to become relevant. Stroph's time to shine on KBN starts now.
So, congratulations to the Green Bay women's basketball team.
All right.
Winning the Barbasol Horizon League tournament.
Can we take their coach to go to Wisconsin?
That'd be great.
Because Wisconsin can't get it right. Since they fired Lisa
UW Green Bay is like a powerhouse in women's basketball.
Yeah, very good.
Wait a minute.
First-year head coach.
Let's Horizon League.
No. Like they're like a really good program that makes the NCAA tournament and goes far.
I don't know about going
Sweet 16s.
They think we might have went to one Sweet 16 probably in the last 5 years.
Yeah, I think that's about it. But still.
Okay.
That's
a powerhouse compared to what the Badgers have done.
I hate to throw it out there. That's more than Wisconsin men's basketball has done in the last 5 years.
Oh.
They have not made the Sweet 16 since 2017.
You could have kept it on the women's
man,
thing.
Gosh, are you kidding me?
Wow. Where have you guys been? This
I've been having them go to like the damn Final Four for all that time and
Can you put your headphones back on? You're not going to be able to hear me. Thank you. All right.
I'm panicking. I got a lot going on here. The Packers, they tell me it is.
We're not even talking about the Badgers. I want to talk about the celebration the women had this afternoon. So I mentioned that it was the Barbasol, which is shaving cream, Horizon League Championship. They sprayed shaving cream all over the locker room.
Good, yeah.
That's kind of cool. I could think about it. Really?
They're not all 21.
That's kind of...
I could think about like...
It's like silly string.
Well, I'd rather have silly string.
But I mean, we all shave here. Shaving cream...
I've missed the mark for a while.
It hangs around, man. Right? Like, even if I shave my neck... Because I wear a beard, but like I clean up my neck with a razor.
Cool.
And I mean... It hangs around. I can think of many more desirable things to be covered in.
What do you mean it hangs around? You can't just wipe it off?
Well, I then take I typically shower or shave, then shower.
What do you think they did after they were all sweaty and had Barbasol everywhere?
I just think the act of spraying,
fair point.
The act of spraying shaving cream, part of it is like shooting it, right? And you can't shoot shaving cream.
Ooh,
it just
good
kind of
point.
Fuzzes out of the can. That's why so fun with the pop and the cork of the champagne.
Oh.
So get these ladies some sparkling apple juice.
Do they have women's
sparkling apple juice?
Yeah, but again, it doesnn't spray 5 feet from me to you. It just
I'd assume yes if they're sponsoring the Women's Horizon League tournament.
It's a co-tournament, so the men are also playing at the same arena.
No more free ads for Barbasol for this bad idea.
I don't see something for women. They sound sexist.
That's what you had?
That
shaving cream?
Shaving cream just it caught me off guard.
Did they line the locker room still?
Yes. Yeah, they did.
At least safety.
Yeah, safety indeed. Can't get the shaving cream in the lockers.
Yes.
Do you guys do this? Ian on the Carlos Talking text line. I have to change one of the S's, but poop, shower, shave.
Yeah, the 3 S's, yeah.
So
that's the appropriate order as well.
I don't want to go too far, but typically I need to
shower last, bro.
Yeah, shower.
No,
last.
you shower.
Poop, shave, shower.
You can't shower then.
No. The other way, shower and shave, switch.
Okay. We have a debate.
You shave after you shower?
Yeah, because
I shave before I shower.
No, you should shave after because it has loosened like the pores and the hair fibers from all the heat and the steam of the shower.
Look at these.
But if your beard, like right now, I don't have a big beard, but like it gets a little bit long. It doesn't dry up. Like I have to dry it off before I shave after the shower. Otherwise, it's like wet, and that's no bueno.
What is this?
I've had my razor out charging for 7 days, and I just haven't gotten to it.
I mean, you're
an electric razor guy,
huh? Yeah, just out of convenience.
I don't shave. I would agree.
Fellas.
You don't shave at all?
No, I haven't.
You get lined up at the bob.
Probably a decade.
A decade?
Yeah, and I was just
doing
your
barber does it always?
Yeah, I was just doing it just because I wanted to be cool. I don't have a razor.
Dave from Aaron with a zinger. Bradford, do you have an uncorked champagne bottle from not winning the Super Bowl?
That hurts.
Do you?
That's actually a good question. Do they prepare?
They like set it up for you or whatever.
Is it set up in both lockers?
No. Nope. I don't know how they did it when like it was overtime and literally at any given moment. I guess you're on the field and that's all that time they kind of put it in there. But no, it was a gloomy locker room. No different than any other.
Did you cry?
Yeah, he cried. He just lost the Super Bowl.
I did.
He did all that.
How many out of 53-man roster? What percentage do you think cried after Super Bowl 50?
I bet you 30 out of the 53 guys had. I bet no one's like weeping, but eyes tearing up.
Brad was.
Yeah. I did all this. I'll be second place forever. No, but like
the sad part is I can see it
when you like give like a teammate a hug, and it's like, hey man, we did our best. And it's just like, man, you get that hug that like that. Tap the back.
So you and JJ and Graham were hugging and crying.
Did you hug Cam?
No, he was mad at
What about
Cam.
Greg Olson?
Yeah, I hugged Greg.
Oh, Greg, did you? That's good.
We had like an 8-man.
What about Thomas Jones?
Thomas Davis.
TD. I think he went around to every guy.
Oh, what a guy!
He's that.
That's a leader.
Luke, we had like our own. Gosh, we don't have enough time to tell the story. We had our own like breakfast club every morning. That like
cool.
It was so. I mean, I looked forward to it every morning. And then we wouldn't have it.
The punter's like, the breakfast club.
Greg, we ready?
I'm actually surprised. Like the team captains recognized the special teamsers.
Oh, wow.
Come on now. The team, special teams guys get to be captain.
You guys think we are more ostracized than we are?
You were a captain?
Yeah, he got to be a captain for a game.
Who? No. For season long.
No, yeah, that was Cam, Greg, TD, Luke,
the dudes.
Yeah, the dudes. The guys,
the guys that actually put blood, sweat, and tears on the field.
My one gripe with Coach Rivera is no special teams captain. That ain't right.
Wow. So you were never a captain.
No. You're the same captain for every
game.
You
just lied to him.
I respect it.
No, he was a captain for his game.
I was a captain for the Jaguars when we